Hey, everybody. Happy hump day evening. How are you today? I hope everybody's having a wonderful night and had a wonderful day today. Uh, Great to have you guys back here with me, guys. Tonight, I should say. We're going to be talking about that there may be a possible piece of evidence or an update in Caleb Harris's case. That's just going to be a quick talk. And then for the rest of it, guys, we're going to be talking about whatever we choose to talk about. It's a wide open discussion tonight. And I appreciate you guys joining me for it. Please come on in, grab a chair, grab a seat, get yourselves comfortable, and let's get this show on the road. Here we go. What's up, everybody? Hello, and welcome back, guys. Great to see you tonight. I hope you guys are all having an amazing evening. I hope everybody had a wonderful day today, guys. I really do. On this crazy, weird weather-wise Wednesday. So happy hump day to you all. Halfway through the week, we're almost there, guys. We're almost out of May too. It's May 22nd already. Where did this damn month go? It is so quick, so quick. But again, welcome back. And for those of you that don't see it, if you can't see it, I want you to see it. I've been asked by so many people. Well, I did it, guys. There is the link. If you want to get some True Crime Cafe Dago merchandise, there you go. I think we got a couple t-shirts, or we got a t-shirt, a hoodie, and a coffee mug for right now. And we will be gaining things as we go along. Let's see how this goes first, and see what happens from there. I'll have one, and I believe Doodle will have one here soon, a t-shirt. That way we can show you what they look like. So lots and lots of people have asked me for it. Here you go, guys. I'm sorry it took so long. This should be pretty cool. So, and then, like I said, if it goes well, we'll add things as they go. There's cups and hats and phone cases and sweatshirts and all sorts of things in there. So yes, we will. Definitely. If you guys want it, I will add it for you. You got to let me know. Plus, we're going to be making some other t-shirts and different shirts that have different sayings on them. Some of my goofy ass corny sayings will be in there, Speaking of which, if you guys haven't done it yet, please make sure you hit that like button on your way in the door. We got 46 people with 28 likes. One of my other awesome and corny ass sayings, guys, if you will, can you please at least pretend like you like me for a little while and hit that like button? Please, if you will, I'd appreciate it very much. We're going to have a shirt that says that. Yes, guys, you can get Speedos. You want a Speedo? Grab it while you can. And the prices are not bad, guys. They're not bad. I'm using the same place that Cluminati uses. She turned me on to it, so thank you, Clue. And you can thank her for that as well. And there's all sorts of different colors and sizes for everything. So check it out, folks. If you want to wear a little piece of me, there you go. And again, thank you all for joining me tonight. I appreciate you all so very much. Such a weird day for weather. What is going on? I was in here today watching Clue's show, and it was beautiful out when it started. And then out of nowhere, my entire house went black. I looked outside, and the whole outside turned dark. Next thing you know, it's like hammer and rain outside. I'm like, what the hell? Where'd this even come from? My lights start flickering and all that fun stuff. And then an hour later, it was beautiful outside again. So I went back outside, started doing some stuff out there. I have no idea what that was all about, but hey, it is what it is. We survived it. Here we are. Yes. We got 51 peeps in here with 35 likes, guys. Please hit that like button and please make that numbers match to make YouTube happy. If you can, please. So, again, guys, the link is in there now for the new merch store, Dago's shop, or whatever you want to call it. Go check it out. For those of you that were asking, there it is. It took me a minute to get it set up, guys. It was a little crazy, but we figured it out. No, thank you to the lovely Miss Doodlebug. She helped me figure this stuff out because I can't quite understand how to set these things up. And I'm learning little by little. I'm so blessed to have all these smart people on my team that know how to do these things. So once again, thank you, Doodle, for the things you do. You are appreciated very much. Let me see. Again, guys, like I said, there's a very slight possibility of an update in the Caleb Harris case. And we're going to look at that. And then whatever else we get into talking about, it's an open discussion tonight. We can talk about hot dogs if that's what you guys choose to talk about. We'll see what happens either way. So come on in, get comfortable, grab a seat, grab something to drink if you need to. Make yourself at home. And we're going to. All right. I'm right here, Miss Rowe. Hello. So, speaking of which, let's see who we have gracing us with their amazing and awesome and beautiful presence tonight. It looks like we got the one, the only, the amazing Mind of Monsters. Mama's in the house. Thank you for joining us, Mom. Great to have you here again. Looks like Brandy B's back in the house. Thank you for being here, Brandy. Ro, again, welcome back to you. Great to have you. Captain Jenks, great to see you. Thank you for joining us. Alicia J, welcome back to you. Excuse me. Again, the amazing Miss Doodles in the house. Thank you for being here, Doodles. Steven's Adventure. Welcome back, my friend. Angel of Virtue. Hello, hello. Good to see you. Thank you for joining us tonight. Illuminati and Cletus are in the house. Thank you for joining me tonight, Clue. It's great to have you here. Let's see here. Victoria Burgess, welcome back to you. Great to see you. Hello, Lurker. Great to see your eyeballs checking us out. I appreciate that very much. Miss Daniela, here we go again. Kirayaku, thank you for joining us all the way from Ontario, Canada. Thank you for being here tonight. Miss Nicole Seafelt, thank you for joining us. I appreciate you very much. Alicia J, I think I said it, but hello again. No, Captain Jenks. Kay Lee, hello. Welcome back to you. Guys, make sure that all of your you go down the bottom of the chat there and click that little $sign thing and make sure you are available to receive gifts, therefore memberships, because you never know when somebody might get a little generous and want to send you one and give you a free membership. Please make sure that's open and available. Agent Green, welcome back. Great to see you. Good to see you. Good to have you here. Miss Leslie and Billy, good to have you. Good to see you tonight. Thank you for joining us. Groot, welcome back to you. Jin Rebel, hello, and welcome back. Miss Tina B, great to see you. Great to have you here. Again, thank you for that, Doodle. For anybody that's interested in the merchandise, there it is, guys. It's just some t-shirts and t-shirt, hoodies, and a coffee mug for right now. Let's see how that goes. If you guys like it, we will throw it all in there. Summer Jade, welcome back to you. Good to see you. Good to have you here. Thank you for joining us tonight. All right. Let's see. Shelly Montage, thank you for joining us tonight, dear. Appreciate you very much. Great to have you here. Come on in, guys. Get yourselves comfortable, if you will. Miss Marion Tate, welcome back to you, ma'am. Great to see you tonight. Thank you for joining us. Carly Ray, welcome back. Great to see you. Great to have you here. Delicious. Hello. Thank you for joining us. Appreciate you very much. Truth, not feelings, my friend. Good to see you tonight, brother. Good to have you here. Thank you for joining us. Hello to you, Mom. Good to see you tonight. Come on in, guys. Get a seat. Get comfortable, if you will. Thank you, Miss Danielle. I appreciate that very much. It is a pleasure to have you here, and thank you so much for that $2 super chat. That is absolutely amazing and more than appreciated. Thank you so very much. Lisa Wilson, welcome back. Great to see you, and welcome to all you meatballs. I appreciate you all so very much. More than you know. Hello, Miss Barbara Hall. How are you, Miss Barbara? Wonderful to see you again. Thank you for jumping in here with us tonight. And good Lord Almighty, looks like Groot has been a member here for 10 whole months. That is absolutely amazing, Groot. We do appreciate you being part of this community and part of this family. And I thank you so very much again for being part of this. Thank you so very much. Congrats. Happy anniversary to you. Let's see here. Come on in. Thank you to my moderators for joining me tonight. For those of you that are here, I appreciate you very much. Because as always, I couldn't, nor wouldn't do this without you. And I appreciate you guys for being who you are so very much. Come on in, guys. Welcome back, Robert Bell. Great to see you, sir. Great to have you here. Are we going to do this? I just said truth, not feelings, sir. How are you? Good to see you. Thank you for joining me. Clean them out, bro. Clean them out. Don't make me start bullying you already, brother. You know I love you. I don't even have the link to Truth's channel. I didn't know he had it set up yet. Elise Soleil, thank you for joining us. Miss Marion Tate, great to see you. Miss Brandy B has been a member for 17 months, guys. How about that stuff? That is absolutely awesome. Very awesome. And I appreciate you, Brandy, for that. Thank you so much for being part of this family and part of this team. I appreciate you very much. That's a long time. Miss Vicky Harrison, wonderful to see you tonight. Thank you so very much. Okay. Give me a second here, folks. All right. Yes. You'll be up here tonight, Truth. No worries. I subscribed myself, sir, and you got me rolling with it. Thank you, sir. Miss Tina B's been a member for almost a year, 11 whole months. Miss Tina, thank you so much for that. We appreciate you as well. Great having you here. More than you know. Thank you, Miss Doodle. I appreciate that. And thank you to anybody that does choose to donate and support the channel in that way. Guys, that does pay the bills. It pays for my internet, my StreamYard, and all the other little trinks and things that we need to run these streams, guys. So thank you to any one of you guys that has donated to that. God bless. It is never, ever, ever expected from anyone, but it is way more than appreciated. Thank you so much for that. Let's see here. Let's see. Show. Miss Raquel, welcome back to you. Great to see you tonight. Thank you for joining us. Thank you, T2014. It's great to see you. Great to have you here. Thank you for joining us tonight. Oh, Robert Bell, I did see you, sir. Thank you for being here. I think I got everybody. Come on in, guys. Get comfortable. Grab a seat, if you will, please. Okay. Come on in, guys. Make sure you're hitting that like button as you come through the door, please. BFH Media. I like it. I like it. I like it a lot. BFH Media. And there it is. Bam. I think that's right. I do believe that is. It is. There is the link to Truth's channel, guys, right there in the chat. Let me throw it up here for you guys to see it. It is called BFH Media. I'll let him tell you what the BFH stands for because I ain't gonna do it. He just did. There it is. It is kind of perfect. So, oh, I know exactly what it means. I wasn't gonna say it because I didn't want to insult him, but he said it. So there you go. Big effing head media. That came from Sarge, by the way. Just for everybody to know. It should be an interesting channel, guys. Welcome to BFH Media. Here we dive into crime, culture, dark humor, and all around critical thinking. We will have open panel discussions and debates, as well as open call ins. Sit back, grab a sack as I throw my BFH into the circus. Truth, not feelings. There you go. Can't go wrong there. Thank you guys all so very much for subscribing to Truth's channel. Let's grow it, guys. Let's grow it like we're growing mine. Miss Cluminati hit 10K the other day, and she's flowing straight up the pole. I'm telling you guys, I gained quite a few subs myself today. One of my producers yelled at me earlier and said, "You picked up 300 subs today. How about that mess?" I am super excited and super grateful to all of you. For those of you that have subscribed, you are helping me grow like nothing else, guys, and I appreciate you guys more than you will ever know. Thank you so much for what you do. I'm telling you, I wouldn't be here, nor would I do this without you guys, and that's a fact. Anybody that's trying to become a member of this channel, if you should choose, right there's a little link, because a lot of people have problems with that when they have an iPhone. It just doesn't allow them to do it like everybody else does. So click that link and it'll take you right to it. Thank you, guys. I appreciate you all so very much, and thank you, Miss Brady, for that. Again, thank you to anybody that does donate to the channel to support it in that fashion. With those links there, you guys rock and roll. I do appreciate you. All right, all right, all right, all right. Come on in, Rocky Go Bouts. Welcome back to you. Great to see you. Let me see here. Hmm. All right. Let's see what we got going on here, folks. Let's see. What is going on here tonight? I don't know about you, but boom! Look who that is. Surprise.
Magic.
Just like magic. Hello, 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 Miss Clue. How are you tonight?
Good. You?
I'm just wonderful. Thank you for joining me up here.
Was it storming there today?
It was crazy when I was on live. When you were live, I was in there.
Yeah.
Um, it dumped me
Really?
completely. Yes, it dumped. It took me out. My electric flickered. My internet went down. I'm like, oh great. That's why I just didn't do anything until late, and then the weather got nice, and I went outside, and you know how that goes. It was so weird too because it hit like out of nowhere. I told you that. Remember, I was like, "What
Hmm.
the hell's going on?" And bing, bang, boom! It hit like I was looking at the news, looking for tornado stuff because it was like 82 degrees when that hit. So,
Mm.
and what I did see of your show was a great show today. So great job as always.
Yeah, I was just over there on nonsense as she's going. Oh, so we. She was going through one of Seth's like first interviews, right?
Mm-hmm.
And halfway through it, Terry Lynn makes the video private.
Oh, gee, did somebody get butt hurt?
Well, I don't know because she did turn it back on. Because I mean, nonsense was like, "That's ridiculous. Like, why wouldn't you want information out?" And I guess maybe she felt some type of way, but she did cut it back on. But there's a lot to me in his like old interviews, personally.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
That's actually something I had stated a while back. I wanted to hold on real quick. There looks like there's 5 memberships that were just gifted out. Every now and again, I like to try to give back if I can. So from me to you all, looks like Elise Soleil, T2014, Robert Bell, Mom, and Captain Jenks were gifted memberships. So congrats and welcome to the sauce, y'all. I appreciate having you here, and I hope you enjoy yourselves as well. So thank you for being a part of this community. Um, what was I saying? What was I saying? What was I saying? What was all?
talking about the old interviews.
Yeah, I was saying a while back that I wondered if it would be a good idea, which seems like people are already doing it too, to go back and um look at the interviews like from the beginnings, little by
Hmm.
little by little, and see if there's anything in it that we might catch that we missed, or something that would make sense with something now that we know that we didn't then. Do you know what I mean?
Oh
I
yeah,
think
because I think there definitely are, but I don't know. It seems like in the beginning he was not as accusatory,
mm-hmm.
or
Yeah.
at least when he did, it was like few and far between, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes, ma'am.
And it just got worse and worse with every interview. But
Never fails.
hello,
It never fails. Every time I come in here to do this. Oh, one moment, folks. Hold on a second, please.
Every time. I don't know who the troll is that prank calls Dago when he goes live, but I love it.
Beat it. Beat it. I fell into a burning ring of fire.
I went down, 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 and the flames went higher.
Go.
And it, I started too low on that one.
They're waiting.
They'll be all right.
Oh, same nutshell. Ooh.
Like Kate, they'll copyright him.
I tried.
Why can't I find this fool's? Oh, because I'm an idiot. Typed all that out the wrong way.
Don't be rude, Truth. Country boy can survive. Country folks can survive. I'll get him back in here. Loving you is easy 'cause you're beautiful. Do do do. Go for it.
I can't.
Do
right
it.
now. I can't. I'm laughing too hard thinking about it. Love and happiness.
There you go. Something going down. Does that say B-hole media? Oh, B-roll. I get
I
it.
can't find that on here. I don't know why. That's crazy. Are you still on there? And he's
I am.
still silent? Poor Dago. He needs mods for his telephone.
I don't like no whips and chains and you can't tie me down. But you gonna whip your loving on me, baby.
Whip your loving on me.
What?
Oh, this is just silly. I could be so mean to him, but I ain't gonna do it because you was already mean to him today.
Wonder
sitting there picking
who's
on him.
crying.
Holy shit. Sorry. We just had,
One love.
Hey.
there's no rain, but we just had a tree struck by lightning.
What?
What?
I've never seen that in my life.
That's crazy.
I was running. I ain't supposed to be running. Too old for that crap. Yeah, my neighbor had a. It's weird. This doesn't even look like it's gonna rain, and it got struck by lightning. That was weird.
Oh my gosh, that's my biggest fear when I'm swimming in the pool outside. That
Oh, I'm good.
Lightning's just gonna come on and just.
I ain't never seen nothing like that in my life. I heard something, boom, and then I heard somebody screech, which was Caden because it scared the shit out of him. So I go running towards the front because that's where I heard it at, but it must have bounced off like the houses or something because I'm close to my neighbor on this side.
Is it
And
on fire?
no, it just split it right down the middle.
Mm.
It's a good sized tree. Thank God it didn't fall on anything. But yeah, I was like, hell no. But it was smoky. There was a little bit of smoke around where it hit it. You could see that. It was kind of cool.
Is that what the phone call was about?
Yeah. My neighbor called and said, "What the heck was that? Did you hear it? You know?" So anyway, sorry about that, guys. And I'm so sorry for leaving you up here like that, Clue.
Oh, I was good. I gave him a concert.
Let me catch my breath. I ain't ran like that in a minute. So anyway, it's crazy. The weird thing is there's no rain. The skies they're clear. It's starting to get dark. There's a little bit of rumble of thunder, but that's it. I've never seen that happen in my life. If you look at it in the morning, it will almost look painted in the middle. Like, yeah, I'm gonna have to go check it out. They're already out going outside with chainsaws to cut up the big piece that fell because it's laying across the back of their driveway. What's the number to 9? It's 837 Truth. Write it down. Thank you, Ms. Lisa, so very much for that. I appreciate you very much for the super sticker.
Excuse me, I burped.
Very cool, very cool, very cool. Yeah, I heard that we got more storms coming. I think this year has been absolutely insane with storms like everywhere.
Heck, it just got warm.
I know, but it's still crazy. I've never seen like as many tornadoes and storms going around everywhere as I have this season yet so far. It's a little crazy. We got 90 peeps in here with 66 likes, guys. Can we try and make something happen with that just to make it a little bit closer to matching, please? And one more. Huh?
Oh, sorry. They grounded all the flights in Nashville.
Are you guys still getting storms?
Not now. That was earlier, but they literally grounded all them.
Am I still getting static through my mic? Because if I'm not, it was my phone, as always. God, I need a better microphone.
No, you're not.
Okay, cool. And for those of you that are just jumping in, I've been asked by a whole bunch of peeps about my merchandise. And I am a procrastinator, unfortunately. But I do have it now. And there's a link in the chat here. I'm trying to find it so I can throw it up for you guys to see. For anybody that would like to pick up a shirt, a hoodie, a coffee mug, because that's all I got for right now. I'm gonna see how those work. And if they do well, we're gonna make specialty shirts too with some of my stupid sayings. So start throwing ideas out there for what you guys would like to see, and I'll probably make it. And again, I gotta thank Clue, and you can thank Clue for that because she referred me to the company she uses, which they seem to be pretty good. And so I did it, and Doodle helped me set it up today, and we're good to go. And I actually got one out and ordered already, and so does she. So you guys will get to see what they look like. And there's the link through Printify. By the way, if anybody would like to use Printify, they do some pretty good stuff, and they have a lot of stuff in there that you can make too. When you set that up, did you get hooked into Shopify too, Clue?
No, I hate Shopify. I know it's good, but
I don't even know what it is.
I used to sell stuff I would design or whatever, and I could never figure out how to link the Shopify.
Mm-hmm.
So I just had to build a website and go from there, right? And then just put in the orders myself. But yeah.
Gotcha. That makes sense. I had no idea what I was doing. At least I don't think I have any kind of talent when it comes to designing stuff like that. So Dude will help me with that and showed me. I mean, she pretty much figured it out. I don't get that. I was even trying to figure out a way to ask you questions, but you were live, so it didn't work.
You could have messaged me.
Well, I don't like bothering you when you're live because it's important what you're saying, you know.
Yeah, but I can multitask.
I get it, but still. So moving forward, let me see here. Show. Let me check something real quick, guys. Bear with me real quick. See what I can see. If it'll work. Hold on.
Something that can make you do wrong, make you do right.
Mm.
Okay. Jenny. I was running.
Do they sell shirts at your shop that have huge neck openings so they can fit over Truth's head?
Yeah. If not, we'll specialty make them just for him.
Okay.
I know he's got that Rocky Dennis head, so we got to make sure it fits. I get it. And we can even get him pink, his favorite color. That they have pink shirts there. So,
Hey, me too.
I knew you guys had something in common, and I did that special for him because I love him. I think he's an awesome dude. Okay, here it comes. Sorry. And I'm dropping a link again. Like I said, I'll bring you guys up here.
I was gonna text it to him.
That's okay. Because I know a couple other people might want to join us. Come on up, brother. The link is in the chat.
Duck on the way in.
I've never picked on him about his head. That's all you guys. But I guess
Dude, that's like a watermelon. Like, bro, is it
I
heavy?
join in. I ain't doing it. I got to be with the cool kids, you know.
I hope you've got extra wide door frames or they're reinforced at the top.
Speaking of which, look at there he is picking it. Hello, sir.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Dago's True Crime Podcast, where you get the best and the latest in news and YouTube culture.
Is he practicing or?
Why don't you have a job doing that?
I know.
Well, for
TV
for a long time, I carried my way down the Yellow Brick Road with my fish on a walk. We surely found so many seahorses along the lake shore of the Appalachian Trail. One day we saw a hairy man. I say a hairy man. I said a hairy man. Never mind, that was just my big toe.
Good Lord, sir. Your voice could put anybody to sleep doing that. You know that, right?
Hush, little baby, don't
do
say
it. Don't do
word.
it. Don't do it.
Daddy's gonna buy you a mockingbird.
You got to get Mama Bear up here before you do that. So
By the way, we just got gifted 10 more memberships from Angel of Virtue.
10.
Let me see here. Looks like Alicia J, Miss Raquel, Nicole Seafeld, Miss Marion Tate, Green Bean, Truth Not Feelings was gifted.
Hell yeah.
Wendy Wallace, Kiki's Eyes, Claire S. I think that's it. And I want to say hey, and thank you very much, Angel. I appreciate that more than you know. And what do you know? Bang. Welcome, Mighty Monsters and Sergeant Friday. Thank you for joining.
There's almost no room for me in here with this dude's head in the way.
Sarge, I am your father.
Here we go.
Bad head dead. What's up?
Miss Alicia Tate. Did you get one too, Alicia? Wait a minute.
When I grow down, I want to be just like Sarge.
You grow down.
Yeah, when I grow
I get
down.
it.
Yeah, every door in his house looks like a garage door, just so he can get his head through it.
Every door in his house looks like a cupboard.
A cupboard?
I didn't even see yours, Alicia. I'm so sorry. And
Yeah.
congrats and welcome to all of you guys.
You remind me of the Indian in the cupboard's best friend. Lower cupboard.
What is a cupboard?
What?
What did you just say?
What the hell is a cupboard?
Like a cabinet.
Put your
Oh,
Lord.
a cupboard, a
in there?
cupboard.
Oh, English is hard.
Good.
I've been learning on Rosetta Stone.
Jesus, boy, you need hooked on phonics, but I don't think you could be hooked on any. Well, you could be. You'd be like.
I've been hooked on a few things in my life. The one thing that I haven't been hooked on, T-bone steaks.
Oh, T-bone steaks are the ass kicking meal of the week, bro.
Yeah, T-bone steaks it is. Anyway, guys, y'all make sure and go check out Dago's merch. Yeah,
Hit
that's the way
like.
to
How
show
about
them.
that? How about we
What?
hit like? Hit the like button.
Hit the like button. Matter of fact, send this to someone you hate.
But
I
you're
just
already
always
in
tell
the
people.
Wow. Well, I'll tell you what, let's do this important thing and then we'll move into everything else we're going to talk about. And I hate to tell you guys, it's unfortunate. There's an interview that came out with Jennifer Coffindauber.
Coffin Gagger.
Yes.
Mm.
So she interviewed the
Coffindauber.
whole Caleb's whole family, and I guess there is some bit of information that comes through this. So let's check it out. Let's check it out. Thank you guys once again for joining me tonight. I appreciate you guys. Mom, thank you for joining me up here as well as what, Sarge?
Yeah.
Sarge,
No,
what the
no,
hell
I
up?
just got talking with the pool.
Trying to put on a show here,
Good, I got it
Sarge.
set up. I got a couple of new solar panels I got to put up there, but other than that, we're good.
No one cares, Sarge. We're watching something. Shh.
Oh my God, it's like toddlers.
And tiaras, and he's got his tiara on right now. Don't judge him.
Oh
job.
my goodness. Thank you, T2014. I appreciate that. That was a nice compliment.
Who's on the screen?
Who's on the who?
Who is that lady?
Jennifer Cockenhager.
Oh, that's her?
Yeah, she looks like she's sneezing or something.
She looks a little bit different when she's not wearing a blanket.
Oh, maybe that's why I can see.
Or running in the dark from cameras, I guess. Yeah,
Yeah.
that makes sense. Okay, so let's see what we got here. So we can the faster,
Although I
the
gotta
quicker.
say, her Hollywood, ensemble there is looking real sparkly and fresh.
About 10, 20 down the hatches. Oh, is it coming back again? Damn, Janet, thank you. Yeah, I heard. So, but you see me blowing away, screaming, there's no place like home. You know what happened to me.
Just hold on to truth.
So many jokes.
I know. Let's move on. Thank you, sir.
Texas A&M in Corpus Christi. And back on March 4th, he went missing.
Who's going to be number 100 to get us in that algorithm? Come on now. If you hadn't done it, please do it.
I'm taking my like away.
It's a long time ago, true crimers.
I appreciate that since I advertised your show and put your link out there, but that's okay.
know you know it
Brotherhood.
well.
I learned my
all the
brotherhood
cases
from
that we
Tony, my
watch.
fish.
And I'm so thrilled to have his family here today. You're going to meet the whole lot. You're going to meet his mother, Becky. You've met Randy before. You're going to see Andy, his beautiful, beautiful sister. You're going to meet Jeff, his uncle. And you're going to meet
Welcome,
Ted,
Kimber.
his papa, and
Rose.
Janet, his nana. So without further ado, let's go ahead and meet Caleb's family and start breaking down this case.
Yes, everybody, I know, and I'm apologizing up front because I know how irritating Welcome, Salty. Good to see you. We hit the algorithm. God bless and rock and roll. You guys are amazing. Just please bear with me to get through this so we can hear what the family says. I'm so sorry again.
Hello, Caleb Harris's family. How are you?
Good.
We are so glad to have you here. I just introduced you all
She's so awkward.
to the audience. But of course, I'd like you each to put your face to the name I gave. So Randy, if we could start with you and move across the bottom row and go up to the top row, that would be great.
Okay. I'm Randy Harris.
I'm Andy Harris. And I'm Caleb's mom, Becky Harris.
I'm Pop.
I'm Nana, I'm Janet.
I'm Jeff, Caleb's uncle.
You know, I'm just so grateful that you could all gather here tonight. I know this is probably the first time you've been able to come together online, if you will, as a family to reach out to the community and ask for Caleb's name, Caleb's image, Caleb's story to be told. As I spoke to you earlier, I think it's so important to make Caleb really come alive in this segment and to show the audience what he meant to you all, what he was like. So I'm going to ask kind of a series of questions, and I'd really like to start with you, Becky.
Okay, the first problem I have with this entire interview is she's speaking as if he's deceased or something. I know he's missing, but like, am I wrong?
Well, I just want to know why Tony Mathis isn't there with his
I
client.
was about to say that. I was going to say the second thing wrong is where's Tony?
That's
Well,
a good.
I mean, honestly, was he fired? Is that the real truth?
Gee, I
Because
wonder.
there's something weird about him leaving that case and just saying, well, there's nothing going on. And all of a sudden they do this big interview and
Mhm.
he's not there.
He said something about Coffin Daffer interview. Did he not? Am I crazy?
I didn't hear it, but
She did. He did. Yes, he did.
okay. Well, I don't know, but
I just think you'd want your PR guy
Thank you.
somewhere when you were doing a PR related event.
To not yell obscenities out over a microphone when he answers the phone. Maybe that would be a good idea.
I'm almost afraid that he's going to pop in at some point and go, "Hi, I'm here, folks." And yeah.
Well, no, or I mean, we can look at it in the logical standpoint of he trusts her enough, which should tell us a lot, to have his clients without him there, which implies a much deeper relationship, professionally or otherwise.
Mm.
But then again, he could go the other direction, be jealous and be afraid she's going to start doing it for them, because I could see that happening too.
No, I think that he's too. There's a word that a lot of people have been using in this case that I haven't felt like applied, but it may actually apply for somebody.
Moving forward, of course.
What word? What word?
I don't know it either.
The N word, narcissist.
Yes.
Well, that's a better word than I used.
When you first found out,
I think that's a better word than we've all used, SARS, but very, very much right.
you were going to have a baby and found out it was going to be a baby boy, what was that moment like? Where were you at, and how did you tell Randy?
Well, Randy was with me, and whenever we found out for sure that we were having a baby and that he was going to be a boy, and in the doctor's office, and it was very exciting. We had worked hard. We had been trying to get pregnant for a while, and so it was a joy to know that he was coming.
That's great. Nana, I want to go to you next with this one. So now you find out you're going to be a grandma. Was this your first grandchild?
Yes.
Wow. And so what was that like for you? Were you helping out with the nursery? Were you all tell us about it.
Well, that's kind of my background anyway. And so, Becky and I got our heads together and, planned this nursery, and it was ready to go whenever that sweet boy got here. And I'll just never forget the day he was born. It was a fall crisp day, and it was beautiful outside, and it just made everything wonderful.
What was his date of birth?
Me?
Yeah, go ahead, Nana.
Well, September 24th, 2002.
September 24th. So I can just picture that day as you describe it. So the next question is for you, Papa. Tell us about after Caleb was born, kind of your first memory of him in terms of running, playing, crawling, kind of, was he jabbery? What was he like as a baby?
Yeah, and Caleb didn't talk for a while. He was kind of silent. He listened. He knew every word that he said, but it took him a while to speak. So anyway, we lived out kind of the way, but when we went visiting, it was always fun to play with. You know, we lived in a 2-story house, and I'd go upstairs and play with him. And the funniest part about it, when he was a couple of years old, you know, we were on the way back from Grapevine where they live, and we were on the way back, and I get this phone call, and Becky says that Caleb says he can't take a nap. He said, when you were here, he said, the pop gave me some Dr. Pepper, and I can't go to sleep with the caffeine's keeping me awake.
Oh, that's funny. So he learned an important lesson about caffeine and Dr. Pepper, I guess, at a very young age.
I told him, I said, now don't tell your mom, he might keep you awake. And so he never did that.
Oh, that's funny. Jeff, what about you? What's one of your first memories about Caleb?
Just, you know, I guess never knew to ever really have kids like that in the family, and just seeing them and holding them, and you know, seeing the extension of all our family is just a blessing. Immediately, it was just such a great feeling. I've got pictures from him when he was a baby, when he was a year old. We went out on the lake for the first time, on the old boat we have and still have, and we've been out every summer since, and many dozens and dozens and dozens of trips on the lake with Caleb. And I've been blessed with the pictures, and I look at the pictures every day, and he's such a blessing to our family. And the memory started, my sister called me, when he was born. I remember that day. I was leaving work. I remember that conversation, and from that day to today, he's just a blessing to each and every one of us. Just being around him. He's respectful. He's such a gentleman. He thinks of others first. He hugs you. He shakes your hand when he comes into a room. It's not about him. It's about whoever he's talking to. Can't say a bad thing about him. Just a blessing to everyone every life that he's touched.
That is such a great synopsis, I think. You just so eloquently put it together. It was really nice. Now, Andy, I know obviously you don't remember Caleb as a baby because you came after, and we heard discussed by Papa that he didn't talk very much when he was little. But I want to hear your impression, or what you remember. You would have been much older, and of course by then Caleb would have been older. What's your first impression of your big brother? What was your relationship like with him?
Well, when we were little, I want to say, I don't know exactly the age. He would make up these games outside with his friends, and I was always trying to get in on it, always trying to figure out what they were doing. It was just really interesting to watch him.
So very interactive. Was Caleb the sort that always had a lot of friends, or was he more of a loner? Randy, can you answer that for us?
He always had friends, yes, definitely.
A lot of friends around. So when it came to your house, tell us what that was like, just having a house full of, I'm picturing all these boys and buddies and Andy's buddies. Is that what the house kind of was like, Becky?
Yes, there would be a lot of boys that are all stinky from middle school on, come in the house, and they all like to make some contraptions and play in the backyard. You never knew what they were going to do from the time that they were pretty young. And he had a lot of the same friends until he was a senior in high school. And after a football game, those same boys would come through and be a part of Caleb's life. And so our house was always full of adventures, boys running around and having a good time. A lot of fun. You can't out your house.
They did. They literally would. There's some mornings we'd wake up and there'd be 6 or 7 kids there.
Wow, it sounds like just such a house full of life and stuff going on, and that sounds great. So tell me, now I'm going to take you up a few years. I saw this adorable picture of Caleb in Boy Scouts. I want to hear all about that. Was he like a big Boy Scouter or Cub Scouter? Did he move on to try to get his Eagle badge, or was it kind of just a flash in the pan, gave it a shot and didn't like it?
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, we did the Cub Scouts, and that's the picture you saw. And we had a great time. It was a lot of fun. We built a little derby car. We had the derby races, and then we did some camp outs up in the hill country, and that was a lot of fun. But that was didn't pursue that any further than that.
Yeah, I just loved seeing that picture. It was really cute. So once he got into, say, junior high, that sort of age, I guess his main hobbies became fishing and playing the guitar. Would you say, Becky?
Especially with guitar. I mean, he loved the bike. Yeah, and skate. I mean, I can't tell you how many skateboards we probably bought even when he was really young. Pop and I went to a really cool skate shop and got him his first index board, and our neighbor was not a pro, but just skated a lot. And so he was always interested in skating, and then went on into the mountain biking, BMX type biking, bicycling. And so there's some pictures out there, of him even as far back as junior high, I guess, getting out and doing bike trails, loved bike trails. And then that's when he started having a passion more for guitars, and he had piano lessons how old was he? About 8 years old, taking piano lessons.
Wow, just sounds so well-rounded. I think as I listen to this, it's all the things I think that I would have taught my boys to do that I didn't. How to play the piano and fish and do all these things. It's really seems like such a wonderful, wonderful upbringing. What about girls? Did he have a lot of girlfriends? Andy, I'll let you answer this one.
Oh, he had maybe a couple, but he definitely cares about his fishing. And earlier in the years, he loved his Nerf guns and bikes, paint
Paintball.
guns.
That's so funny. So what about into high school? Wasn't he a pretty big high school athlete? And if so, what were his sports, Becky?
He enjoyed the team sports.
Okay. Since we're reviewing this as well, you got to show your face, Rocky, just one time before I pull you up to make sure that that's what we're getting is your face and not something else. Not that you do that, but I do that with everybody at least the first time. Just one time. While we're waiting on that, am I the only one that has a weird vibe from this interview?
How so?
First of all, the presence is it I said it once already, but it's almost as if he's gone already. Okay. I mean, maybe that's how they feel, but like we don't typically go that direction until we have information stating that he is, and they seem to be acting as if they've accepted that. And she's just overly, same thing she did with Seth, in my opinion, overly excited about something. This is a missing person. It's just, I don't get it. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Very strange. It's almost as if somebody said it in chat, like maybe trying to provoke a reaction in some senses. Killer, the dog agreed with me. Just saying.
There is.
I don't know.
Listen, I got to jump down, folks. There you go. Thanks for letting me come up.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We will
Talk
see
to
you
all of you.
soon.
I got to go start the stream in a few minutes. So thank you.
All right, Sarge. Thank you again, sir. I will catch up with it for sure.
Thanks.
Yes, sir.
And he liked baseball and he liked football. And he did try his hand at golf as well. And so it was more than playing the game itself, it was more about the team. And he loved to support his team and being a part of it.
Now I heard rumors that he liked to cook or at least could cook. Nana, were you behind the cooking?
No, I'm not going to say I was behind him cooking, but
Hey, Dago.
he did.
Yes, sir, my friend.
Maybe someone can explain this to me. That's a genuine comment. Don't think I'm being a jackass when I say this.
No, I get it.
What is the point of all that they're doing right now? Like, I feel like in cases, I watch this too often where they talk about them as children. They talk about them. It's almost like a memorial to them.
Yeah.
Kind of what you were just saying. But it's like, it seems to me like you were taking a lot of time. And I'm not talking disrespectful to the family. This is just more a generalized question, right?
I get it. Yeah.
Like, wouldn't you want to spend that time talking about where he could be, where he went, what kind of places he went to, where can people search? Getting to know him is one thing. I get that, but I don't need to know what kind of baby he was to figure out what, does that make sense? And maybe I'm just a little cold-hearted, but
no. There's no cold-hearted about nothing. I was thinking the exact same thought when I just asked you guys that question, because this is a missing person. He's a young adult. I almost said child, but he's not. Okay. We've been looking for him for a long time now, and we know him, but we don't know him. So let's say that just like with any other interview, we need to know who Caleb is now, not when he was a baby, not when he was in kindergarten, not when he was in 8th grade, not when he was a senior in high school, not his skateboarding. We need to know what he does now, what he has been doing over the past year or 2 years, and what he was doing right before he went missing and where he could possibly be. I absolutely agree with you. So what is this doing?
I can tell you this much. I don't like the relaxedness of it.
No.
Because there should be, you would think, like sort of a sense of like urgency. You know what I mean? Like he's missing.
It's very memorialish. It's instead of go find, it's almost like and maybe they have resigned to the fact that he's not coming home.
It's already gone.
Well, and you know what? I can't have an opinion on that because I have to respect their opinion on that, right? Like they're the one that has the loved one. They're the one who's having to deal with the pain either way. So maybe they've just come to the resolve that he's not coming home, and that's perfectly okay. You know what I mean? I can't judge that. but I feel like maybe it's just because she's doing it. I don't know. And I don't even have anything personally against her either. She's a little annoying, but that's not the point. I'm just trying to understand if this is us getting to know Caleb Harris, then that's one thing, but it's just not necessary to the extent that I feel like we're getting, which almost makes me feel like, you know, when you get hit with an abundance of information and they hope you remember just the few things out of it. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Like, why are you trying to overload me with so much information? Just tell me what you need.
Yeah, right. And this can't be good for the family because, well, then again, I can't speak for them. I'm just saying, in my opinion, I would think that this would make it harder on them talking about these things because they don't know where he's at. Okay. And they're all, especially, I mean, we've seen the father's reactions because that's really who we've only seen about him being missing. It's not been good. So, how is this helping to keep them grounded and to keep them positive? It like you said, it sounds and feels like a memorial. I don't get this.
It's meant
Is
to
it
humanize him.
someone that knows this case better than I do? And y'all know the dynamic of maybe the mother and the father, and this is just me with the lack of information, so excuse me for it. But does the mom always smile like that?
Well, I've not seen much of her. I can't answer that. And what did you say real quick, Mom?
It's to humanize him. Like
Is that what
families take this different ways. Like I've had family members and interviewed family members, and you literally get up to date right now. This is what they're interested in. This is what's, this is key points right now, right, real time. And then I've also, she's been found, so I'm not going to use her name, but I also had a father that I had gotten really close to, like to the point where we talked every day on the phone. And when he came up on panel and I talked to him, like interviewed him on my panel, he went all the way back to when she was a little girl and what her favorite stuffed animal was. And so, and we also have to keep in mind that even though the person may possibly still be with us, there is a point of grieving that you go through whenever your child's missing. It's not a death grieving. It's a grieving of a missing loved one, of having that person that's not there. So some families and some parents, when you do these kind of interviews, they humanize that person. And it almost, to like some of us, that are not, this isn't what we do on a regular basis, is interact one-on-one with families. But that's what it is it's humanizing them. Because I mean, I don't know how old anybody else is, and I don't mean for you guys to put yourselves out there, but when I was a kid, you saw press conferences where the mom and the dad would come up with the police, and you would see them standing there at the podium, and they would humanize that person, and they would look straight into the camera and say, "Bring my daughter home. We love her."
Right.
So it's kind of the same, which Jen has her own way of doing things.
Well, I think I get what you're saying, and it does make sense, Mom. It does, but it just seems like it's too uplifted and too happy for me. That's all that makes me kind of like cringe a little with it. But I understand what you mean, and that does make sense.
Mom, can I ask you a question about that though? Because I know that you have intimate conversations in those types of arenas, so you have a lot more experience than I think anybody that I speak with has. Right? I understand that they would want you to know their missing loved one, right? But isn't it the interviewers? And this is kind of sidetracked, but it's. I think a lot of people are kind of feeling this way. Wouldn't it be the interviewer's job to direct it away from feeling like a memorial? Like, I understand they want to humanize their son or their daughter or whoever it might be, but there's a level of attention that you get from the public, and it's a short amount of attention. So when it's something that's drawn out, it's harder to get that information to the everyday Joe. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and that's what I was saying, is you don't want to take, as the interviewer, like myself, like if I was interviewing this family, I would keep it very short and sweet and to the point. Let them express what they need to express, but you still want to drive that directive back to keeping hope. And if you ever watch one of my family interviews, you'll hear me say, we never give up. We're here, we're doing everything we can. We never give up. You reiterate that. Keep up hope, and you don't speak about that person in the past tense in any way, form, or fashion. You don't ever use, as an interviewer, you don't say, well, was your daughter a good person? You say, is your daughter a good person? Does she enjoy going swimming? Does she enjoy hunting? Does she enjoy Legos, or, whatever the case may be? But it's there. When you first start doing this, there's actually a website you can go to, and there's a list of questions. And that's kind of where I started my base at. Was I took that list of 100 questions and I broke them out into my personality and what I want to get from missing cases. But you kind of have to keep and I don't mean like wrangling cattle, but I mean you have to wrangle the conversation and pull the conversation back to what is hopeful, what's positive. Keep that person's name out there, keep their face out there, keep it short and sweet and to the facts, because people, believe it or not, have 60 seconds to a minute time span where they're paying attention.
Right. And that's kind of what bothers me a little bit about it. It's because the whole thing has been spoken in basically past tense, in my opinion. And I just,
Yeah, and I keep my interviews up at like an hour, which I think one of them ran over almost 3 hours. But I had a dad on panel that was he was distraught, and he just kept talking and talking and talking. And, and I mean, I'm not going to cut a family off, you talk.
No.
I tried a couple times to be like, hey, so thank you for being here. And then he, would come up with something else to talk about. But it was having that, being able to look down and see in chat and seeing that people cared enough to care about his missing daughter. But I mean, there are, and not being out of pocket, and please don't come at me, but there are, responsibilities as an interviewer to keep it wrangled. I mean, even on news, like if you look at News Nation, they let the family speak, but you'll hear the interviewer, and I hate to use the word interrupt, but it happens. It's almost like a cut in, like, hey, we have to go to a commercial break. And I don't mean that in any disrespect, but like I said, people have very short attention spans, especially if you're watching YouTube. Most of us watch it on our phones. So what are you doing? You're up, you're doing laundry, you're dealing with the kids, you're watching the dogs, you're feeding, fixing dinner, you know what I'm saying? So a lot of people don't hear, and especially a lot of these people, and I don't do it myself, but some people take them and they convert them over to like Apple Podcast or Spotify or something like that, where you're not getting this visual that we see here on YouTube, because you're just hearing what's being said. You're not seeing the body language.
Right.
And
no,
I mean, no disrespect to his mom, and I don't know his mom, but the big smile is kind of, I don't know.
It's
like, it threw me off a little bit.
Yeah.
It did.
Yeah.
And then the dad, bless his heart, he's you can see him wiping away real man tears. And if y'all know what I mean by man tears, I hope I don't need to explain that, but men cry often in a way different way. And sometimes it's one tear at a time, or it'll just be a singular fucking tear. You know what I mean? And at the end of the day, you can see that dad is missing his boy. And I know that he might have been a mama's boy a little bit, but right now, it looks like he was a dad's best friend. You know what I mean? You can see the pain in that dad's face. I have to say that.
His dad has been a distraught mess from the very beginning, and you could tell that right away. They were very close. Yes. I do agree. Thank you, both of you, for the insight, because I'm kind of uncomfortable with it. I'll be honest with you, but hey, if it works for them, the family, then so be it. That's all I can say.
Was he just reported? I want to make sure that I understand it a little bit. I do remember the case, but I'm a little rusty, I guess, on it. Do they suspect foul play with his case?
Hold on. You're okay, Rocky. That's enough. You can shut it off now and go back to nothing. I just have to make sure. Sorry. I'm sorry for that. Like I said, guys, people will show things on here that you don't want on you don't want on the screen. People do that. Not that you would ever do that, Rocky. I just have to make sure. So thank you for that. Welcome, by the way.
You're welcome. Can you hear me all right, though? Just to check.
Oh, yeah. You're perfectly fine.
Okay, awesome.
Loud and clear.
I'll put a little picture in there.
No problem. No problem. Now, Truth, say that one more time, sir, the last part of your question.
Oh, shit. That was 30 seconds ago.
I'm sorry. He went missing.
What do they suspect foul play, or do they suspect he left on his free will?
That really hasn't been said either way, because the way he went missing, he walked his dog, let the dog back in, was waiting on a DoorDash order, and then disappeared. Poof, in barefoot in midair, like he just disappeared. He was standing out towards the front of his where he lived at in the complex. Took a picture of a bridge, sent to somebody. There was talk that he was supposed to meet with somebody. That's not been proven that I know of at this point. This interview is supposed to relinquish some new form of evidence that they may have, which is why we're watching it. So I don't know what the actual thought is with law enforcement at this point, because nothing's been put out recently at all stating any of that.
I'm not far off from starting to believe in damn alien abductions. I'm telling you, I'm not far from it. Like, I know y'all gonna think I'm crazy, but on a real note, someone said, where are all the missing children going? Guys, 400,000 a year in the United States. Hold on, let me just say something real quick, Dago. I want you to put that into concept real quick, right? And I say this all the time, so follow me with no disrespect and trigger warning ahead of time, okay? Do y'all remember in school when you would see pictures of the Holocaust?
Yes, sir.
Do you remember when you would see where they would place those victims?
Yes,
and then
sir.
you remember reading the numbers of people, right? And you have that vision forever burned in your head, whether you like it or not. That's how horrific the Holocaust was.
Absolutely.
But if you think in comparison to 400,000 children a year, you can't put that many humans somewhere and it not be seen. It is the craziest, mind-boggling thing. And I know people say child trafficking, blah, blah, blah. I get it, right? But that's almost 1 million every 2 years.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
It's absolutely mind-boggling. I can't understand it.
Well, with what you said, I don't like to sound crazy or conspiracy-like, but that whole missing 411 thing, I read into that, okay? I can't say that it doesn't make sense in some aspects, okay? Molly, my one producer that is in here, she has a friend that went missing in like a mountainous area like that, okay? And just in the middle of nowhere, like poof, just like this, like Caleb did for 20 years ago. There's not been one, like with Sebastian, there's not been one bit of evidence to what happened, where, how, who, nothing. So with you saying what you said, and I know it was slightly a joke, but honest to God, the way these cases look anymore, it just doesn't make any sense. So reading into that missing 401 thing, people are like, oh, you're crazy. That doesn't happen. It can't happen. It can't. Then you tell me what happened sometimes, guys, because I don't understand it. It doesn't make any sense when authorities can look at these cases and put all these resources out there and come back with not even a piece of clothing. How does that make any sense?
Well, it seems like the cases now are just that, these poof gone out of nowhere. And I'm not pushing any theory like that before anybody.
No, I know that.
But it makes you think, how in the world does this happen in 2024 where we have cameras that we don't even know about?
More technology than we've ever had. Yes, sir.
I don't understand it.
It don't make no sense. It really doesn't. So like I said, when I started watching that 411 stuff, I said, what's up, nonsense? Thanks for joining us, Becky. It does make some sense, you guys. I don't go in that direction ever because I try to be as logically grounded as I can with these cases. When there's no answers to anything, guys, what else do you do? Okay. I mean, like with Sebastian's case, for instance, there's been nothing, and I mean nothing, that has been spoken about as far as seeing, hearing, evidentiary, any kind of thing, nothing. So again, how do these things happen like this? That's all I'm saying. It's not that far off the rails, Truth. It's really not.
Yeah, it's sad. And I just, yeah.
It is. It's beyond sad. And because these people have lives and families and children and their brothers and sisters and mothers and fathers, and they're just gone. Their life stops one day and it's over and they're gone. And there's no answers to those questions.
And this is why my heart reaches out for like Mom, for example, because she deals with this firsthand. You know what I mean? Like talking to these parents, not talking about, talking to them on social media, like literally spending time with them at their darkest hours. And I have found myself, since being involved a little bit in this community, literally waking up in the middle of the night in cold sweats thinking about different things. You know what I mean? And I'm
Well,
sure y'all have, even people that are, in the chat have that too. But, and for what I did for years, obviously there's a lot that goes in with that too, right? But at the end of the day, even with my career set or what I did, uh, I didn't have to deal with families like that. You know what I
mm-hmm,
mean?
mm-hmm,
And my hat's off to you on that. Secondarily, while I have a second, um, we're working on, and I'm probably not even supposed to talk about it yet, but I'm going to anyway. We're working on doing a shirt that we hope a bunch of the creators will grab onto.
mm-hmm.
All proceeds are going to go to the billboards, starting with Sebastian and keeping Sebastian's name up there. We're working that out behind the scenes right now. We're trying to make the shirts like $25 so everybody can afford them.
Mm-hmm.
And we just got to figure out who's going to deal with the actual funds. It's going to have to be someone like Mom or somebody like,
Yeah.
oh Lord, what's her name? Duchess, somebody that's dealing directly with the billboards so that
Yes.
there's no middleman and there's no confusion. Uh,
I think
uh,
that's a great idea. And those two both have dealt with things like this already, like
yeah.
monetarily and stuff like
what
that.
we
It's a great idea.
what we want to do is get a picture of one of those billboards and actually put it on the shirt big on the
Yeah.
front, and then
Yes.
on the back put "Have you seen me?" That's it. And it's literally taking your donation, which a lot of people are wanting to do for the billboards, and getting a
Mm-hmm.
billboard for yourself essentially by being able to wear it.
A walking
So
billboard. That's
we're,
amazing.
we're gonna nobody's gonna make any money off of it. There is no profit for any creator. They're gonna have to do it just strictly off the want to keep it up. And when Sebastian is found, then we will then move those funds over to another child that needs them or person that needs them and make another shirt from there to continue doing it.
That's absolutely amazing. When we do our show on June 9th with all of us combined in there, which now that you have a channel, you're more than welcome to join us for Truth. I would love that. We can advertise that as well and just push it and push it and push it. Absolutely.
I
I
think
love
if
that
people are
idea.
I think
Yeah.
if people are going to be in this lane, I think it is essential. If I'm going to come in any shape, and I don't necessarily believe I'm going to do true crime. I think I'm going to do a lot of dark humor. We're going to do some a lot of different things, right? But I don't think we're going to stick strictly with real crime. And I'm going to tell you why. Because I feel like people have to have an escape from this every once in a while. So you do true crime 3 days a week. You do some fun things on the other nights, and you keep people involved. We're going to
Yes.
do a lot of call-in shows. We're going to do a lot of panel type shows, and then we're going to do some mock trials as well. So I'm lucky enough to have some of you great people behind the scenes that have liked some of the ideas and have
Mhm.
agreed to be a part of it. So, I don't care to make money on here.
Absolutely.
I've said that very clearly. I don't need anybody's money, respectfully. I like it, but I don't need it, right? And so all these creators on here who are making money off of these cases, that's fine. But why is nobody doing 10% of their merch, 10% of their memberships, 10%? I mean, it's no different than tithing. And if you gave it to an organization that was doing something like billboards or something like radio ads or TV ads on a news station, if we could, I know right now we could get a news ad. It might not play, but between 2 o'clock in the morning and 6 o'clock in the morning, right? But
Mhm.
it's still 30 seconds of showing missing kids and missing adults on a major station. You can get that for about $500 a month. It's not expensive, you
Okay.
know.
I don't know
So
anything about that stuff. That's interesting, and it's a good idea too.
yeah.
Very good idea. Absolutely. I've been running like a missing persons, missing children and adults, like a slideshow throughout every few shows or so. I'll play it and it rolls just through the whole thing, names, missing posters. I've been trying to do that regularly to help a little bit. What you just said is actually a really good idea. And if a bunch of us come together a little bit here and there, that would be perfect. That's amazing.
Yeah.
We throw it into a general fund and it all goes to that and boom. So
Well,
yes,
the,
I
the
agree.
thing
I
is,
agree.
it has to go to somebody that is
Yeah,
trustworthy, right?
right.
That's it. I don't want to touch it. I don't want
I don't either.
anybody's money
I
when
don't
it
either.
comes to that shirt.
That's
None.
why I agree. Somebody that has done this, like Mom or Duchess, on a regular that has dealt with monetary situations like this would be perfect for that, in my opinion. So,
And just to answer this question right here, we're going to do, when we do it, we're going to do drop shipping. That way, no one has to do the work of packaging. You don't have to give your address to anybody. Everything's going to go through drop shipping. Yes, the shirts are a little less quality. It's not about the shirt. It's about what the shirt says and what the shirt
absolutely.
does.
Yes,
So,
absolutely. Absolute amazing plan, amazing idea, sir. And I'm down for every bit of it. So thank you. Thank you very much for putting that out there. I appreciate that.
we're going to work on it. We'll have it together this week sometime.
Sounds good. We will talk about it. Yes, sir, for sure. And like I said, I think the 9th, when we do the big show, even though you don't push the true crime, you do support it, and you will be involved in it here and there. I think that would be amazing. And I know you'd be part of that with no problem. So that's a great time to do that kind of stuff. So absolutely.
Yeah, I just don't think that I want to get. I mean, true crime is amazing, as you know more than most people know, Dago, of my background and why that's so interesting to me.
Yes.
And I think that there's a level of a little bit of knowledge, maybe not much, but a little bit of knowledge I can bring to the table. But I still think it's important that people breathe through Sebastian's case. What I've realized is no one stops and breathes. Right?
Absolutely. That's why I do the music shows every so often, and I do the trivia shows here and there, because we have to take a break. You have to take a break. It will eat you from the inside out if you don't.
Well, that's just like the other day, you know, and I haven't spoke on it since, and I'm just going to take 2 seconds to say something. But, you know, just like the other day, sometimes things strike humans, right? Experiences, memories, you know, whatever it might be, and you respond. So then once you do that, you're like, okay, stepped out of character a little bit. Not that I feel like, you know, I was wrong per se, but
there was
character
good reason for it. Right.
Right. And so I stepped away for 2 days, and I'm like, all right, I'll sit in the background, because you got to take a couple of deep breaths, and you got to realize that everybody has feelings and emotions. Some people are just dumb, you know, and sometimes you're the dumb one to other people. So
it happens. Yes, sir. Absolutely. Very good points. Very good ideas. Great speaking points. I appreciate you for even bringing any of that up, and I thank you again very much. All right, guys, let's move forward on this and get through this, as hard as it is. I know I've seen everybody say it, but get this done, and we'll move on to everything else we're going to do tonight.
Call me, I think it was that first year, or maybe it was last year. He called me ahead of time. He had missed his mom's birthday, but it was during the week. And he called me and asked me if he could come over and cook dinner for everybody and surprise his mom. And so he sent me a list of ingredients that was unbelievable. And so we got the ingredients, and he came over and we cooked together a dinner for his mom's birthday.
Wow. What did he make? I'm dying to know. What did he
make? Some of it was ratatouille. Yeah, ratatouille.
Ratatouille,
It was very well put together. It was plated well, like you would get in a restaurant, and it was, you know, of course with my mom behind him, that it was all his idea and what he wanted to do.
Ratatouille, of all things. Like, I'm 50 years old and I've never made ratatouille.
Well, I can tell you too, Dan and Pop are really good about, with both of them, entering cookies and pastries and things like that in the county fair. And they won several blue and red ribbons in the county fair, cooking cookies and different types of pastries for showing at the fair. So yeah, he got a triple ribbon one. Yep.
Wow, that is pretty cool. I mean, it just paints such a picture of somebody that was so well-rounded. Nana, can you tell us a little bit about Caleb's personality?
Well, he was pretty even-keeled. You didn't see him get real angry. I mean, he would get angry at times, but he didn't get angry very often, and he didn't get down very often. He was pretty even in his temperament. You know, he was very easy to be around. Sometimes we could have disagreements, but we could talk about them logically and without a lot of emotion. So he was easy to talk to.
So you said initially, Papa, that he wasn't a big talker. Did he ever become a big talker, or is Caleb more of a quiet guy?
Oh yeah, definitely. He became a big talker all at one time. He was quiet for the longest time, but once he started talking, he never quit. He just kept talking. So, and it went on and on. He was very well rounded. I mean, from a young boy all the way through. Him and I did go-karts together. You know, we worked go-karts, a couple of different ones. I mean, even all the way through to, you know, even I think it was his first guitar that he got. He came over to the house one day, just him and I, and he was talking, and he said, Mom said, you know, I would like to get a guitar. And I said, really? I said, what do you think? And he's a researcher. I mean, even at a young age, he researches everything. Even all the way through, anytime he wants something, anytime he's looking for something, he researches it to where he knows everything about it. So he came over to the house, and this is like, I don't know, August, September. And he said, I like the guitar. I said, really? He said, let me show you. So we went upstairs on the computer, and he showed me this guitar that he wanted. And I said, really? I said, why do you want that? He said, it has instructions to play it with electric. It's like $279 or something like that. I said, do you want it for Christmas? He said, yeah. I said, well, I'll tell you what, let's go ahead and order it. If you keep a secret between now and Christmas, we'll order it now. When it comes in, I'll show it to you. And then at Christmas time, you have to be surprised that you got it. And the funniest part was Christmas come in and he opened it up and said, wow, he said, a brand new guitar. And he was just shocked. He kept the secret and was surprised at Christmas. That's it.
That's a great story. I thought you were going to say it was going to be like the Dr. Pepper. That he told us. But no, he learned. That is a cute story. Well, I think, you know, hearing all these warm emotions, hearing the type of person he was, I think really comes out, hearing these little details. And I love these little stories and anecdotes. But I want to talk about what it was like on March 4th and what it's been like now that months have gone by. Nana, I want to start with you.
Well, Becky and I had been together at lunch that day. A friend of ours came into town. Their daughter came into town, and we met her in downtown San Antonio, and we had lunch together. And we came home, and Becky went on her way, and I went on mine at the house, and I got a phone call from Becky saying that Caleb was missing, and I thought, missing from what? And so that's how I found out that Monday afternoon. And we were just devastated. But I really thought that, oh, well, this will just be, 2 days and they'll find him. But the boys had already done so much of, looking and searching on their boys, meaning his roommates, looking for him that they were without a doubt knew that something had gone on and he was missing by the time we all found out.
Andy, how did your parents tell you, and what were your initial thoughts?
I was actually out with my mom. We were getting my passport done. And just as we stepped out, we got a call from one of his roommates saying, like, hey, Caleb been missing since 2:00 this morning, and what we know is more now. But and I was just thinking, oh, that's so weird. That's not like him. That I never would have thought that it would go on for as long as it did, or I thought that it was going to be resolved in a couple of hours. We had to drive separately home.
Well, it's a perfect segue into, I think, a very important point for everybody that's listening, everyone that will be tuning in. And that is that a lot of times when people hear these stories, about a young 21-year-old young man and the hour of the night, right? He was last seen at around 3 a.m. There were a couple of Snapchats, one to you, Andy, and then one to a friend in Colorado. And then his phone went completely dead at about 3 a.m. Randy, I know you know the exact moment. 2:58. So a lot of people wonder, and again, I know in talking today to Police Chief Green, Assistant Chief Green, that you have to think about every scenario, right? You can't just have tunnel vision when somebody disappears. You have to look at all of the possibilities. And one of those possibilities that had to be considered was that he just sort of walked away, if you will, from his life for whatever reason. And we had such a great conversation earlier today with Nana and with Randy about why that just isn't a possibility. And I think it's really important for our listeners to hear that from each of you, because you all knew him. You lived with him. You ate with him. You saw this little boy grow up into a man. So if I could please start with you, Mama, Becky.
So I had just spent the weekend with Caleb just prior to him going missing. And so we had a great time together and he was happy. He showed me all the places he loves to go. It was just a really great time. We walked on the beach for a mother-son time together. And I left with my heart feeling full and, looking forward to seeing him again. And so I know that he was in a really good place. He was enjoying his classes. He even talked about enjoying a couple of his professors and he had a great group of friends he loved to go to do things with, like fishing that we all know. And but also he wouldn't have walked out if he were just to leave. He wouldn't leave his possessions behind, like his wallet and his keys and his shoes, that kind of thing.
Well, actually, it was you, Papa, that said earlier that he's a researcher. He plans. He seems like I'm picturing him as being one of these people who, if say you were going to take a hiatus from your normal life and routine of family, it would have been planned. So to be barefoot, to be without keys, to be without a car, to be without money, to be without identification, that seems huge when you think about who Caleb Harris was as a person. Nana, what are your thoughts on this?
I think because that he had planned things so well, he had spent some time that evening talking to some friends that went to school other places, and they all had the spring break. We were a week away from spring break at the time. And so they had plans to meet up, during the week off. We were planning all to be here in Broncos. And so he made those plans. He had signed a lease on his apartment. One of his roommates, his family or friends of mine, I've known them for a long time. And so, there would be no reason that I could see. He also, there was some talk about his job in Alaska. Well, that came about because we have some extended family, I call them extended family, that work and live up there. And they had been here just previously and talked to Caleb about working up there for the summer. So it wasn't like he was going to some job that he didn't really know he was involved. He felt very comfortable to go and to be with his family, and because he had known them most of his life. And so, there were a lot of good things that were coming up in his life that just it wouldn't make sense for him to take off.
Randy?
Okay.
Anything else stick out to you? I mean, now we know the fact that it was disorganized, that he's not disorganized, that he had plans, this great job in Alaska, which for an outdoorsman, there could be about nothing better than a summer in Alaska. He was going to be with friends, the planning of signing his lease, Becky talking to us about him being just in a good place. And I know we all know as parents, those of us that are parents, what that means. That's when your kiddo is just, things are going good and they're in a good place. Anything to add to that, Randy?
Sure. Even Sunday, he'd been fishing with some friends. When he got back, he was texting me, funny fishing videos, and then going back to his planning. He was planning a particular place he was going to go fishing, and he was texting me pictures of the different lures that he's going to use the next day, because he was very focused. Not just throw a shrimp on the hook. He's very, very focused about different baits that he would be using, things like that. So he was always texting me stuff like that. So it goes back to that planning. Planning his lunch the next day, planning where they're going to go fishing, planning, like I said, the apartment. He's already signed a lease with a new roommate, additional new roommate that he's known since 4th grade. So there's just so many things that that we're looking forward to the future with him. And then actually not having, like we said, his keys, his wallet, his shoes, even the pants he was wearing, Mom had just bought and getting ready to go to Alaska. Those were some pants that we bought specifically so he would have up there. So everything's looking forward to the future.
Andy, I want to hear from you about this just a little bit. Do you think there's any possible way that Caleb, that your brother who you grew up with, ever would walk out just all of a sudden on his life barefoot?
I think that when I heard somebody say that would even be a possibility, I just immediately was like, no, that is not who Caleb is. We have a very close-knit family. We are together a lot. He calls us almost every day. Would be unheard of for him to just walk off, and it's not even possible.
Andy, I want to leave it at that for this question because you say it so beautifully. It's not possible for the Caleb, and it's important, I think, for our audience to hear this, because a lot of people, a reason a case can kind of go cold in media is because everybody just assumes, that maybe they left on their own accord, or that there's nothing to be looking for, in a sense. And it just couldn't be further from the truth in the case of Caleb Harris. Something happened to Caleb Harris. He didn't just get up at 3 o'clock in the morning with no shoes on and walk out on his life. And it's so important, I think, for everyone to hear that. And I appreciate each of you talking about that particular component. I do want to move forward to the investigation. First of all, last time we were together, I was with Randy and Tony, your family friend, regarding Caleb's timeline. And a lot has been made about the dog, the little 8-year-old white dog that was actually, I believe, a grandparent's dog. She could no longer handle it. And so these boys that lived in this apartment, including Caleb, kind of were all going to take care of it and all kind of have this dog. And at one point it was believed that Caleb was last seen under a bridge, but that has since been dispelled. And so bring us back now to the actual timeline, Randy.
Well, that we know of, he was on the phone for about 71 minutes playing video games with a friend in Colorado. Till about 10:15, his roommate brought the new dog home. It came from his roommate's family. And they started playing with the dog probably around 10:15, 10:30, just doing all kinds of stuff, getting excited about it, texting us pictures, texting, hey, we're going to go get a life jacket for it tomorrow, that kind of stuff, so they can ride, can ride on kayaks. They fast forward to about 1 o'clock, there's a Ring camera with a roommate and a future roommate, and they're outside playing with the dog. And then at 2:44, he snaps Andy a picture of the dog, walking the dog, orders his Uber Eats lunch for the next day. And then at 2:58 is when his phone went dead or turned off. And there's some anomalies out there of another chat that he sent to a friend after the phone went off, and then possible ping, but those both occurred after the phone was not working. So there's really no evidence that phone really did that, other than it is just an anomaly. It could have happened. He could have sent those a lot earlier, and or the phone could have actually connected to a tower a lot earlier. It just happened to show up, within about a 12-minute time frame after his phone went dead.
Right, that makes sense. We talked about that earlier, where sometimes a phone call can be made, but when it's actually received on the other end is a little bit later. So that makes a lot of sense. So law enforcement, I know, believes that it truly went dead, if you will, his phone at 2:58, and that phone has never been found, and nor has any clothing, anything to have to do with Caleb. Correct?
Correct.
All right. Now, there was something you mentioned, and that was that Andy, at 2:44, he snapped you a picture of he and the new dog. Is that right?
Yes.
And we know that the dog was back at the apartment. In other words, that next day found back at the apartment. So obviously he would have had to take the dog back. What was in the background, if you recall, when he took a picture of himself and the dog?
It was a very short clip of just him walking the dog. It was late, so it was dark. The only thing in the video is just the dog and what looks like to be a sidewalk, or
it was a parking lot.
Yeah.
You can see stripes next to the cars.
I see. And so you saved that chat. You don't have it where your chat comes in and disappears necessarily.
Yes.
So you were able to see the chat. Randy was able to see the chat, and other law enforcement. So it was in the parking lot. So then he snaps that, and then that's when the last place we see him is it's across the street, right, at a bridge. So he presumably then puts the dog up and then crosses the street and goes over this little bridge where then another snap occurs. Is that right?
If that's when it was. Again, that was at 3:03, but that would have been after the phone went dead. So we really don't have a good timeline on that particular chat.
Okay, but so that chat we don't have a timeline on. So the only chat that we know, or snap, that is good is the one to Andy, and then we know the precise time that the phone went dead.
Correct.
Okay.
And then he did order Uber Eats at 2:45.
Okay, 3 minutes after. But as far as the triangulation of the phone, do we know exactly where that phone is when it triangulated?
No, we don't. Originally, when they first started looking at everything, it was a good mile away down at a church.
area. So of course they did a lot of searches right there immediately. But then once the
Yeah, go ahead, Rocky.
Okay. Hopefully you can hear me all right.
Yeah.
I just wanted to draw a comparison between what's going on with the Caleb case right now, Caleb Harris. And as you can see, things are a little bit more civilized, or at least, they appear to be a little bit more civilized compared to what's going on with Sebastian.
Yes.
But we have Tony. Tony's interjected into both of these cases.
Yes, ma'am.
So I just wanted to just draw that parallel, because what she says coming very shortly is very shocking, and it makes you almost wonder if a lot of what's going on in the Sebastian case isn't highly contrived. Anyway, that's all I'll say until she gets there.
Absolutely. No, thank you for the warning.
Okay.
some other authorities were able to triangulate. Additionally, it was at another location, about a mile away still, but it was still close, 2 fields, 2 roads further up north near kind of the hospital pain center area. But again, they never could determine that that's exactly where it triangulated to pinpoint it.
So as far as you know, even with the FBI being involved, they were never able to triangulate exactly where his phone was when it went out of service or when it called Uber Eats?
The best we would know is that when he called Uber Eats, he would have been at the apartment complex. The additional ping that they were chasing, that's the one that they were chasing down the street at the church and then over near the hospital, the pain center over there. That's where they felt like there was a possibility in the phone being. So there was a pretty major search done in both of those areas, not only looking for Taylor, but looking for the phone.
Okay, but those, I guess, were done after it went dead. Is that what basically they believe now? It was after the phone went dead and a later ping that went out, that's sort of that phantom ping that we're talking about. So
Correct.
Really, we don't know where the phone went dead at.
Correct.
Okay. I mean, that's a big piece of information that needs to be answered. In this case, something that I know you all have been frustrated with in my conversations with you all, I feel your frustration. And I know in speaking with Assistant Chief Green today, how much he's frustrated. And that has been some of the subpoena and search warrant returns for information from the carriers or from the different apps and, Apple and all these different subpoenas that went out. Can you talk a little bit about that, Nana?
Me? Yeah. Well, from what I understand, earlier on, I don't know if my timeline is exact or not, but at least I would say about 6 weeks ago, because Randy goes down once a week to talk to Corpus Christi police. And a lot of times Jeff and Ted join him, and then just recently they decided to do it one at a time. But what I got frustrated about is that they told them 6 weeks ago they were waiting on these subpoenas to get back, and warrants, and we kept hearing that, but there was never any resolve to it until a friend of my daughter's here had said something, about contacting the congressman in our area and also the one down there. And so when we did that, actually I didn't do it, it was my son here that did it. Almost immediately, they started getting in the information that they need. And so we
So why is that a problem? I wonder. That's quite interesting. I would have never guessed that was an issue, but wow, interesting.
kind of sat there for a good 4 weeks with nothing happening on those subpoenas and warrants. That's my understanding. I don't go down and speak with the police face to face, but that's just my understanding. And they are finally, getting a little bit more information in.
And Jeff, it sounds like you were very instrumental in that, in trying to put a little pressure on the people being subpoenaed or the warrants. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am. We Randy contacted, Chip Roy and the local Michael Cloud, new ace, the congressman in Corpus Christi, and they were all very, very willing to help and have relationships with law enforcement, and they did, any outside pressure is helpful, or outside support, I should say. So yes, we did, we're engaging anybody we can to help and help to assist them and put pressure on in these subpoenas and whatever we could do as a family is.
You know, there's nothing worse than understanding the process. And that is literally once that AT&T clerk gets the request, they go in, they look up the account. Okay, you need a week or 2 weeks worth of records. They literally go into those records. It takes them about 10 minutes at the most. They print it off or send it off electronically, and that's it. And it's very frustrating. I know people in law enforcement, it's so important to make that contact with the person that is actually doing it to get their file moved to the top, because this isn't a property crime. This isn't a financial crime. This isn't a historical crime. This is a crime involving somebody who is missing and somebody whose life could be in peril. I can't state it any more plain than that. And so it's always a frustrating process to literally get that clerk to move it to the top of the pile, because that's what it takes. And it takes a squeaky wheel. And I'm glad to hear that at least some motion is happening. And I also understand that, of course, once you get one set of returns showing phone traffic or showing text messaging or other sorts of messaging, then it leads you to something new. And then you have to subpoena them. So it's kind of can be a never ending long domino process. And I know that's been frustrating. Nana, I'm sorry, Ted, do you want to talk to us a little bit about that? Just, I know you haven't been in the thick of that piece, but what it's been like to not have any answers from law enforcement.
It's been very disheartening not to have the answers. It's been very upsetting and disheartening not to have Caleb back. And so we're looking for information that will lead us to him, will lead law enforcement to him in order to get the process moving to get him back home. So it's day by day, and you can't get him off your mind. You know, it's a constant day, and you're thinking about it. You always need something to pull you away for a little while, but it always comes back. You know, what's the holdup? Why can't they find him? You know, we know for a fact that we have a God that knows where he is. We know for a fact that we have a God that can rescue him. We know that Caleb knows his God. We know that Caleb has God's word in his heart that he carries with him every day. And he has a hope knowing who he belongs to. And so we know that Caleb is in good hands with the God that he honors, with the God that he believes in, and through his Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. You know, we're hoping to get him back quick.
And I think it's so beautiful to listen to the faith you all have. And I know in discussions I've had with you all that your faith is what has been your strength to try to get through this process. But nevertheless, you all are human. And I can't imagine what it must be like to go through what you're going through. I want to talk a little bit about something that Assistant Chief Green told me. And, you know, obviously anything I said that I wouldn't repeat, I'm not repeating. But there was one thing that he said I could say. And that was really, he wanted to address, he asked me if I would send this message to all the cyber sleuths, the, you know, people in the true crime community that really do care about helping find Caleb. And what he had to say was this, was that they are getting to a point, law enforcement is getting to a point that they do have some direction on where they're looking and what they're looking at. And so they're not at a brick wall yet, but the minute they get to a brick wall, they are going to make a release of information when they think they're at the point that it's going to help the case. And they don't.
What?
So they got the deets. They know something. And
This is
just
new.
Apple, just for knowledge purposes, they hold on to their data until they absolutely get pushed to the point where they have to release what they have.
Yeah, they do.
And that ping
Oh,
would have been about 2 miles of a radius, because pings are
right.
not exact. So you're looking at 2 miles, unless it's an iPhone to iPhone. Like I can ping Mini Monster right now, and I can see him in the building that he lives in.
Yeah, right. That's how my wife's phone is too. I don't have Apple, but she does. This is interesting because this is new to me. I have yet to see Ellie do something like this, but they said when they hit a wall, they're going to drop the bombs and start letting things out there. What? I wonder why. Anybody have any ideas as to why, possibly?
Okay, so did they get to the part where they said that they were going to let a whole bunch of information go straight to social media personalities and whatnot,
Well, they
and
didn't-
see
they
where
didn't-
it takes them? Oh, okay.
Wait, what?
In
Oh,
this
yeah, that's probably
video,
coming up. It's probably coming up, but they did
okay,
say that when they hit a brick wall, they're going to start dropping information that they have. So which is
yeah,
positive. That means they have some kind of information on something.
yeah.
Uh,
She spells it out. Well, she basically says if they don't get what they're looking for, or someone to
Right.
come forward, then what they're going to do, and it's almost like a threat almost. It's like they're going to bring in the Kraken, they're going to put a little file together and they're going to release it to personalities on the
So,
internet to see
and
what they
because
can come up with. And they would even give their names and where they work and everything. Yeah.
they're going to,
So,
okay. Well, because they know that this community will find it. We will find it. We will get it. We will bring it, guys, because that's what we do. I
right.
mean, we spend our
Right.
lives doing this, which is
And
very
what,
interesting.
yeah.
It's a very interesting tool, if you ask me. That was basically, you have so much time to come forward and give yourselves up,
Or you're
or
going to get the Sebastian treatment,
yeah. So
this
there's
case,
somebody.
because
There's
they've been all watching this case. I'm sure
well,
anybody that's been following with Caleb, they've been watching. So anybody who is maybe holding out information in that Caleb case might get a little worried that, oh no,
they
if this
know
happens.
which tells me they know specifics on either
Right.
someone or some people.
Right.
Bring it, drop it, because you know damn well we're all going to dive into it head first. And wow, let's keep going.
Don't think that right now. They don't think that what they're sitting on and not sharing, it's going to be helpful to share right now. But he wanted to assure everyone in the community, everyone who cares about Caleb, everybody who seeks justice and worries and advocates for the missing, it's coming. If they hit a dead end, they're just not there yet. And I found that to be just such good words, because to me, that means two things. That means, one, law enforcement isn't at a dead end. They have particular leads they're following, and they're looking in a particular direction, and it's not exhausted yet. And only when it's exhausted are they going to come, and then they say they're going to come to open it up more, or open it up to the public. And I think that'll be great once that happens, but let's hope that they resolve it before then. Lastly, I just wanted to know if we could kind of go around. Jeff, I'm going to start with you. What it is meant to have him gone, and any message that you might want to send in case anybody that might be involved in this would be listening.
Just that, you have, the gem of our life, and we'll do anything in our power to get him back, whatever it takes, have mercy on him, and he's all of our lives. So, I mean, we'll all do whatever it takes, whatever effort it takes to get him back. And so we'll, all of our supporters, you can see all the support we have. So.
Andy?
I think that we are real people. We are not just this news story that people are following. We are this family that is missing their child, their grandchild, their niece, my brother, my best friend. This isn't something that is entertainment for anybody. And just as Jeff said, we will do anything to get him back.
Becky?
I would just say there's people watching that have him, that he has a family that loves him back, and to that God will forgive you for anything you've done and just return him back, return him back safely. And if Caleb was listening, just I want him to know to stay strong. The column verses that he knows is to fight with everything he's got to get back.
Papa?
Yeah, I think the same thing. We don't know what he was thinking. We don't know what reason that he would have been thinking, because we don't know anything that he could have even been involved in or associated with. Somebody has been trying to say, they've done and feel like they've done a whole thing. We pray that, hallelujah, we'll be back. We just know that. Like Amy said, like Jeff said, we only want to do and
Janet?
Well, I love what Amy said, is we're real people. And even though we've gotten a lot of support, there's been some pretty awful things said. And if we were in a community, we are hurting at the deepest core. We lost a son earlier when he was 2 years old. We have resolve to that. We know what you're dealing with. We don't know what we're dealing with this. And it's just been agony for all of us. We sort of take turns, doesn't all happen at once, but we are a very tight group. Since Caleb was in the first grade, he lived within 10 minutes of us. We do a lot of our life together, and there's a huge hole in our family with him gone. And
Randy? Oh, sorry, Janet.
I'm sorry. I want to say too that if Caleb was listening to this, we love you. We want you back. And if you're not whole, we will get you there.
Randy?
For me, it's everything everybody said. If we could talk directly to whomever may have him, again, our faith in Jesus Christ is something that we, as hard as it is to pray for that individual or that group or whatever where he is, we have to find it in our hearts to also pray for them, that they will have mercy, they will have the grace of God upon them. And that's what we're hoping for. And if Caleb's listening, come home. Fight.
He wants to come home.
Fight everything you
can. Thank you all. Thank you for coming on tonight. Thank you for talking about Caleb to all the people in the audience and all the people really across the U.S. that really care about this young man and know that he didn't just disappear. Something happened. Something happened. And everyone in the audience and everyone who hears this, please show his picture. Put it on your platforms, whether that's Instagram, whether it's TikTok, whether it's Twitter, whatever. Please put Caleb's picture out there. You never know who might see something, who might know something. Please, his name, his story. This is one of these cases, and I know those on Twitter have noticed it. It went from, all over mainstream media and all over Twitter hemisphere, and now people barely talk about Caleb. They need to be talking about Caleb. We need to be talking about Caleb because someone knows what happened. Someone knows what happened here.
Well, I'd like to say something about the volunteers too. We have so many wonderful volunteers. I think we're up to probably close to 19,000 brochures or flyers put out, signs and magnets and, billboards. And again, the support that we've had is amazing. And I think I want to thank everybody in Corpus Christi because it's pretty amazing. You can't go anywhere without somebody knowing something about, Caleb. And it's happening now, all over the state of Texas, all the way up to Amarillo and other areas. So we're very thankful, extremely thankful. And that's what we need. We need the public's help.
Such a gracious statement. You're always so gracious, Randy. You always sing the accolades of the volunteers, and the volunteers from all accounts, from the word one, have done such an excellent job. And, let's keep doing our job out here on the airwaves of keeping his face and name. And if you live in the Corpus Christi area and want to help, please reach out to Randy. Please reach out to his family and see what you can help in terms of spreading flyers. Are there any search efforts anymore in any of the areas, Randy?
Only direct when we have a lead. Right now, there's not an official ground search going on. As we get leads in, whether it comes in from Facebook or the tip line, those are immediately definitely, the CCPD reacts very fast, and they will include all their resources, Coast Guard, drones, everything they have to go look and try to find if there's a lead pointing to Caleb. What's the name of the Facebook page?
There's a Facebook page called Volunteers for Caleb Harris that you can follow, and the young lady that is in charge of it is extremely organized. She's a student, she's going to be a teacher, so she's a girl after my own heart, and she is got flyers and locations where everything has been gone all over Texas, all over the United States. And so if you are on Facebook and you look up Volunteers for Caleb Harris, you can find out what's going on there.
She's been amazing, absolutely amazing.
And a new friend for Andy.
I'm sorry, say that again, Randy?
New friend for Andy. They went and got the nails done.
That's great. Oh, that's great. One of our chats, and I do want to address a couple of questions from the people listening because they're very important. They think of so many things that we haven't thought of in tonight's discussion. One of them asked a question about an Apple Watch. Did he have an Apple Watch, and do you know what has been done concerning his Apple Watch?
Yes, he had a MacBook, an iPad, Apple Watch, and an iPhone. iPhone was never found. The MacBook was taken into forensics. The iPad and the iWatch were actually taken in and given to the Secret Service. They have more technology, probably the most advanced technology, to be able to crack into it, for better lack of words. And that was sent off to another state. And so they've been helping with the technology. But yes, there was an Apple Watch, and they do have that, and they've definitely been doing the forensics on it.
Yeah, I'm so glad you mentioned that because the U.S. Marshals are involved. They have a great network for fugitive finding. That's one of the things they do, one of the initiatives they have. So it's great that they're involved. Secret Service, in talking to Assistant Green, had one specific thing they were able to help with, and that's just what you said. They sent it off to their lab in Miami and had the forensic analysis done on those two items, copied, mirrored, and sent back. I guess they were one of the only labs that existed to do that. And of course, the Bureau is handling the lion's share of all the digital forensics. So the Texas Rangers, for those who are wondering, they are also involved, offering up any assistance that are needed. Countless groups of divers and of searchers and volunteers, and the Texas Wildlife, I think, Commission also helped.
Texas Parks and Wildlife, Sheriff's Department, Coast Guard.
Yep. So this has been a huge effort. Every week, law enforcement meets with Randy. Every week, law enforcement, speaks to each other. And I know for a fact, I feel more confident than ever after talking to Chief Green that it's coming to a head one way or the other. Either the direction they're going is going to be fruitful with more answers, or they're going to unleash some information to the public that hopefully we'll all be able to assist with as best we can. Faces and names maybe of individuals that could have possibly last seen him. That's not anything Chief Green said. That's just me talking from a law enforcement perspective. Let me just check out a couple of these other questions. People are saying it's great you all had Apple devices because it's good technology. Everybody is really sending you all a lot of prayers and asking for God's blessings over you all. Just a lot of comments really reaching out and giving you their support. And I'm sure you'll be able to go on afterwards, family of Caleb, and read these comments for yourself. You have a lot of people that are behind this effort to find Caleb. So let's get his name back out there, his face, and let's find Caleb.
Absolutely.
And thank you.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
God bless you. Actually, I've never done this before. No, I did it one other time, but it was offline, and one other time with an account that we always pray together. He always says the prayers because he's a preacher. I'm just going to say a quick prayer. Dear Heavenly Father, I just ask that you help give this family continued strength to get through this time, continued peace, to try to find just peace as you can, day in and day out as you go through this struggle. And then also, Lord, if you could please give law enforcement the guidance, the intelligence, the strength they need to find Caleb and bring him back to this amazing family. In Christ's name, amen.
Amen. Thank you.
All right. Not something I normally do, but I am a big believer. Everyone who follows me knows that. And we're praying for you.
Thank you so much.
All right. Till next time.
I'm good, Jen. Thanks. Wow. Um, wow. That's all I can say is wow. Clue and Truth said they'd be back here shortly. So for those of you that are still here, um, wow. I've never heard law enforcement speak that like out that in that sense. Have you ever heard that, Mom?
No, no, I've heard them come out and say, you know, thank you, social media. We appreciate what you're doing. The
right.
podcasters, the YouTubers, the creators, you know, we appreciate you. I've never heard almost like taking a carrot and putting it in front of a donkey and saying, hey, we're going to give you guys a prize if these people
Mm-hmm.
don't do the right thing. And I don't mean that in any disrespect, because those of us that are here that do what we do, some of us are really good at it.
That's yes, and some of us have a real passion for this, and we don't relent. Period.
Nope, we don't. And, you know, and just some of us, and I'm not beating up on Jen, but some of us keep these cases out there. Like we keep these cases out there. That's what we do. We don't focus on just one case. You're seeing different cases at different times. You're seeing other cases be brought up. You're seeing, you know, like today on Twitter, there was a flyer that got shared with his old reward on it. I instantly went into the comments on the Twitter post and was like, here's the flyer that I made. It has the updated reward on it.
Right.
You know, and then it got tweeted out today. And the last time I checked, it had almost 700 views on it. So
that's awesome. That's awesome.
But like Arctic made a good point. In one sense, this could be a really good thing by releasing this to social media, because, you know,
could be, yes, but
your mods, my mods, a lot of people in this community, they're good at what they do, and they are a force to be reckoned with. And then you have the other side of this community, and that's not just YouTube, that's TikTok, that's, you know, whatever other platforms are out there, Facebook. Just like when the case first started, you had Reddit posts that, you know, and you don't know who's behind those Reddit posts, but you had Reddit posts that were put out, and then that took a whole right-hand turn. And, you know, once the new wore off of that, you didn't hear about that anymore.
Right.
You know, and
by the way, there's a link in the chat. Arctic, you're welcome to join us if you'd like to, my friend. Yeah, sorry to interrupt, Mom.
No, you're fine. You know, this is a kid that's full of life, that's clearly loved. You just watched his immediate family.
That family,
sit on the panel.
absolutely, yes. That is a very tight, very loving, and very good family. That child is not by any means, I keep saying child. To me, he is a child, but he's not by any means not wanted in that family. They want him home now, okay? I'm kind of excited, I gotta say. This gives me, Molly said it herself in the chat, this gives me a tinge of a positive feeling, because I feel like they know something in that. Correct me if I'm wrong. If I am, maybe I'm just reaching mentally or emotionally. I kind of got a sound from that, like I'm not a sound, but like a feeling that they know that he's alive and well, possibly. Am I wrong?
No, you're not wrong, because it's a difference in listening and hearing what they were saying.
Yes.
A lot of times we get desensitized and we're just hearing what's being said. If you listen to what that woman said, it just, in my opinion, they think somebody has him.
I truly think law enforcement probably knows who that is, and they're giving these people the option to let him go, safe and sound, and probably walk away to an extent, okay, at the beginning at least, to get him home safe, and then they'll handle their business. But they know that if that doesn't happen in a certain period of time, they're going to bring him to us and say, go get him. That's basically what that is. And we will go get him. We will go find that person, and it will happen. That's just how that's going to work. Now, the only thing I worry about with this, okay, I got to be honest, I don't know what type of people that, if they have him, what type of people they are. And some people, when they get scared, they do drastic things. That is the only thing I worry about with a scenario like this. But I gotta say, Oh, did you try to jump? Oh, okay, no problem. Arctic. If it works out for you, buddy, you got a place up here always. You know that. Yeah, listening is very important, guys. We can listen to these interviews all day long, okay? All day long, and we could hear them. If you don't listen to them, you don't get the things that we hear from them that we should. Period. That's just facts to me. Hold on a minute here.
Diego, do
Yes.
you feel that it was almost like I got the impression that maybe they were kind of saying like we've been a little too easy, and that by releasing this to the public, you should have an idea now. This is not going to go well for you. It's things are going to get harder.
That's kind of what I got a lot out of it. I'll be honest with you. The way that interview started, I was kind of like, what the hell is this? Okay.
I'm so glad you played it.
And then
I felt the same way.
When they started talking about him and what I wanted to hear the whole time in this situation now, things changed. Okay. Completely changed. Welcome, brother. How are you today?
Hi, Arctic.
You there, bub? I think he's struggling with his internet. Take your time, bud. We're here.
I can drop down and make room for somebody else.
No, we have plenty. I can hold up to 10 people up here, hon. You're fine.
Okay.
Yeah, we might need to go back again. I think Carolyn's actually right. I did a very good show one night on this case. We opened up maps. We went on timelines. I don't know how many of you guys were in here, but we opened it all out, and we might want to go back to that and take a look at that again with new knowledge and thinking in that sense. My other producer, Molly, in here, she's very good with mapping. I might have her pull some specified maps for that and see if we can put something better together than what we had and go from there. Because we got to keep this going. I got to say, I'm guilty as everybody else is, as maybe not pushing this one as much as I should, but there's so much other crap going on. But yeah, we're going to do that again coming up soon.
Yeah, Mom and I did a live on it too, and she was mapping everything out, and we had a lot of locals from the community that were very familiar with everything that was going on, so it turned out to be a really good informative stream.
Absolutely.
It was an amazing live. It really was. It was a phenomenal live, and I'm not good at driving Google Maps, but
Molly,
I could.
I haven't. She should be a map maker. She's very good with the mapping, and does it quickly. The video we did before, we didn't do all that. We did some short-handed stuff real quick, but we did have locals pop in here too that were talking about that. I was very impressed with that. I'm so used to the Idaho case where nobody wants to talk about anything. Nobody will talk about shit, and it doesn't help. These people were right here, right now. Let's talk about it. Let's do it. And I love it. I do. Absolutely, Molly. It's really, I got you, Christy. I understand. I have a positive feeling now. You know what I mean? Not that I try to always have that positive feeling on all these cases. You guys know that, but for some reason, this interview really bumped me up even more, guys. I feel like there's something coming. So we know now, in my opinion, at least, that law enforcement has something. Okay. And whatever it is that they have, I hope that they can solve this their way, because if they turn it over to us, it's going to get a little different. And we all know that. There's going to be some creators.
It'll get a little messy.
Well, and it's sad that I have to say that. There are quite a few of us that will keep the integrity of this together.
Apparently, law enforcement thinks it works.
Well, the problem is like Arctic said, there are some of us that don't carry that integrity throughout this too. And it's not about the person we're looking for. It's about themselves. And we all know that that's not what we're about. Okay.
Right.
And that's fine. Let those people do what they're doing. We'll do what we do, and we'll make something happen with that. That's all I can say. I think there's more of us than there are of them. I'll just put it that way, and I pray that it stays that way. I got you.
I don't know that Jennifer one very well from the FBI. I can't even remember her last name, but did she ever give the families of Sebastian the same sort of opportunity to get to know them?
She did give a interview first with Seth. She did not talk to Chris and Katie, and that's most likely because Chris and Katie wouldn't talk to her.
Okay.
My opinion. I don't know for a fact, but that's my opinion. So I don't know. She did the same type of an interview with Seth. I didn't care for it either because I don't know. She just, the way she talks to people is not for me. Okay. We did get some more information, not very much though. I was surprised about Sebastian, and it wasn't very helpful. I'll just put it that way. So I don't know. I don't know. But I have a positive outlook and a positive feeling about this right now. I hope it stays that way. I said I hope that little push right there gives law enforcement the edge that they need to do something. I do. And if not, I got my gun belt on and I'm ready to go. Let's do it. You know what I'm saying? And I know Arctic he's involved. Mom's gonna do it. Every one of us, if we get the option to go do something positive with this, we're gonna jump on it and do it. Period. That's all I can say. So,
absolutely. I mean, I just haven't been doing much on my channel on Caleb because we really haven't had anything new come out in his case. So
right. That's same here. Same here. I mean, I've been looking every day, but there's nothing. And that right there was surprising to hear that. So I gotta wonder. These are two different law enforcement agencies. Okay. I wish something like this was going on with Sebastian's case too. And I wish that they would get to the point where they would just say, okay, take it and go. You know what I mean? But see, the problem is going back to what you said, Arctic, is unfortunately, there's already some needlers that got their claws into this, that if that happens, it's probably going to shred it. You know what I mean?
absolutely. And then you've also got to be careful about releasing too much information because, you don't want to tip off whoever may have Caleb, whoever may have Sebastian. Yeah. And you don't want to hurt the integrity of whatever case they may be trying to build. So
yeah, and that's a big thing, is if they have somebody in line that you can't spook that person and then we could never see them again. That's scary. So I agree with you on that.
I don't know if I can. Am I okay to go?
Oh, you can speak anytime you want, please.
Okay. Well, on the JLR video, he said that Chloe has a Facebook page and she has a group together, and it's quite a few local people in the area, and they're searching, anywhere just between 3 to 5 times a week for 3 to 4, all day type of thing. So I'm really glad to hear that those searches are going on. And what came out of it is that they're going back and researching places.
Yeah. They've
done
done
5 miles.
Yes. And here's a little, I'm glad you brought that up too, Rocky, because I was talking to Cletus on and off. We've talked about this scenario. I think they should start looking. People need to start looking outside that 5-mile radius. Okay. It's very, very possible that Sebastian stepped outside of that somehow or was taken outside of that area too. They need to start putting some time and effort into going outside of that perimeter, in my opinion. And in Cletus.
Yeah. And I think they are doing that. I think they're doing that too, but they're also retracing. I think maybe they should do both, retrace and go outside that. But I'm glad that there's an organized someone, not just piecemeal, but thoughtful searching going on.
Right. Were you going to say something, Mom?
It's great that they're doing organized searches and it's not organized chaos. That's great to hear.
Yeah, because I don't think it was ever, at least in my opinion, the searches for him, I don't think were ever organized the right way, in my opinion. I just think it was a bit of a mess. And you know, we have people coming in from all over the place. God bless them for trying to help, but it just was not regulated or organized the way it should have been. And I think it caused chaos in the beginning that was unneeded. Okay. And it set us back. Now, then you go throw in all the drama, and there's been plenty of that. Okay. That has set us back even further. If none of that drama, and I have nothing to say negative about the Proudfoots because they've had enough. And I'm not going to say anything negative about Seth either because he's had enough. But there's some decisions that were made, and there were some things done that should not have been done. And I truly, wholeheartedly feel, this is just my opinion, people don't have to agree with me, okay, that they all should have stayed off of social media. They should have gone to local news, national news, possibly put Sebastian out there like anybody else does. And I don't think we'd be sitting in the boat that we're in right now that's got this big gaping hole in the middle of it, and it is sinking day after day after day. Because we have lost so much time, precious time, to spend looking for him, worrying about what Chris and Katie have done, and Seth has done, and that person's done, and this person. And then we got people coming in and out of this investigation like a revolving door. It's disgusting. I've never seen anything like this. You know, and then we get Tony. Biggest mistake. I'm sorry. Biggest mistake that could have ever happened. And I'm telling you, the first moment we saw this guy, Mom immediately said no. I agree. I do agree. You know, 48 hours later, she was 100% right, period. So it should have never happened. Should have never happened. Okay. I'm very surprised that he is with this family myself. If he still is, I'm shocked. But whatever, they need what they need, resource wise. And I hope to God, I pray to God, that he's not taking advantage of them as much as he's taking advantage of this case here with Sebastian, because that's exactly what he's doing. He does not need to be attached to this. He does not need to be involved in this. He's caused nothing but trouble and drama from the moment he stepped his big old foot into this case. I'm sorry.
And the sad part of it is, like, a lot when you have a missing person, you know, you would hope that you can just reach out to local media and be able to have your missing person featured on local media. That doesn't happen. It doesn't happen,
Right.
because I've actually called social, you know, media myself and been like, hey, such and such is missing in your area. And they're like, oh, we can't talk about anything like that until law enforcement gives us the okay. I've reached out to Dateline NBC before and actually got them to take one of the cases I was working on. And I was like, mind blown that they actually covered the case. But then on the other side of things, you have where you've got 3 or 4 people that are sharing a case. Once it blows up on YouTube, and this is going to sound so bad, but it's true. Once it blows up on YouTube, there's a Facebook group that's got 10, 15,000 people in it. You got 100 different people on Twitter or more sharing it. Then mainstream media is seeing revenue go because they're losing those views. So what do? Then they start getting their people to reach out to the families and say, hey, come on our show. We're national media. And then that's where you get high profile cases, and, you know, all these other missing people are just left in the dark.
Whether it sounds wrong or not, it's 100,000% true, Mom. It's fact. You know, yeah. I'm ashamed some days to be. It is. It's fact. I'm ashamed in some senses to be who I am and do what I do, because as much as I try to avoid wrapping up in the crap that happens, it follows us, guys. No matter what we do, it's attached to us one way or another. You know, I can come in here and do a show all day long and show all this stuff and say, guys, let's stay away from this. Let's not do this, guys. Let's go this direction. Let's not do that. Let's try to make this a different thing. And I've done those shows. You guys have been here for them, okay? It still drags along with it like a plague. It's sick. It's sad. So, you know, as much as we say we should just post up the pictures and say their names, that's fact. That is the best thing we can do. It's also hard to not point out things that are causing issues in the case too, to try to get people to say, hey, that shouldn't happen, and maybe not follow it, maybe not play that game, for lack of better terms, and I've done that too. It doesn't matter, and I have my issues with certain people. I don't like the way, just as much as I know the other two of you up here with, or three of you up here with me, don't like these things either, because it's not the way these things should be done. Okay. But it's happened. So we got to bitch about it. It's hard to say it like that, but we do.
Dago, I rewatched the TBI announcement, or I guess it was more of a warning for parents and grandparents. I watched a few times, and they talked about how what's happening is the age group between 11 and 17 are being victimized, and they are not only being victimized by older people, but also by their own age group. And what's happening is these kids are unaliving themselves. A lot of, and they're being extorted, for gift cards, money, things like that, to show a body part and their face together. And then what happens is these predators will send a list, and they'll say, hey, we know your grandmother's name. We know your mom and dad's name. We know your sister, your brother. We know what school you go to. If you don't send us money or send me another pic, or if you don't come with me here, we're going to put out these, naked pics of you.
Or worse,
and,
we're going to,
or worse,
we'll unalive your family and stuff. Yes.
Right.
It's
Exactly.
Very manipulative.
And I can't help but wonder about the timing of this message being put out by TBI. Now, we don't know what happened in the Sebastian case, but if we go by the fact he walked out that front door, what lured him out there? You can't help but ask that. And when you see what's going on with the Caleb case, it looks like almost something like that has happened too, that he was in contact with somebody. He had no shoes on. He didn't bring his phone. It seemed like he was planning on coming back in the house.
He wasn't planning.
It seemed like he was coming back.
Yes. Yeah.
Right.
And I feel that way too. This was supposed to be in my opinion, a possible interaction, a very temporary, quick interaction with somebody.
Right. And it went all wrong.
Yeah. I got to agree with you. Real quick, let me approach or respond to Miss Barbara. Says it's a lot of work for the families to get the stories out too, and I'm here to tell you, but we appreciate everything you guys do. And you know what? We know you do, Barbara. We do very much. Arctic, of all people, knows. He's been working with you for a long time. I have the honor to be working with you now. Mom, same, has been involved as well. Everybody that everybody's been touched by you and Timmy's story, and we know how much you people as in you and Kimberly and everybody that we've talked to most recently appreciate it, and we all love you. I promise you, and we are all here for you and with you. You're not alone, and we're not going to let you be alone anymore. I promise you that. So thank you.
And Timmy is one of the cases where it's a good example of a woman that could not get her son's story on any type of media whatsoever. I mean, she had been trying and trying. And, I've covered after case like that. I covered an autistic young man out of Las Vegas last year, and no one would help cover the story. You'd reach out to these media outlets, and they acted like they thought the mother was making the whole story up or something. Well, we don't have anything from law enforcement, so we can't put anything out. But as soon, like Mom said, as soon as, the story starts taking off on YouTube, then they're all over it like, shit on shingles. I mean, it's crazy.
Yes. And the thing is guys, other than Mom, but she still is, Mom is an advocate for the missing and so much more. Okay. Arctic and I and the others, and Mom still too with this too. We're basically investigative reporters. Okay. We put out the information on these cases to try to make somebody see this, to try to make somebody hear these stories, to get true justice for this. The cases that I've been looking at that Arctic was on to in Fredericktown, my mind has been blown more in the past 2 months than ever since I've been in true crime. I can't believe the things that I'm seeing and hearing, and the way that these families are being treated. There's another case coming up that I'm going to be looking at too, of a woman that was basically forced to cremate her child. Why? These are our own choices. These are our loved ones from this same area, forced into cremating her child. That's crazy. That's suspicious as all hell. It doesn't make sense. But none of these cases do. Like I said, when I first got involved in this, Arctic said, they go, look, there's this, and this. And this person, this person, this person, this person. You guys, I've never seen multiple cases involving the same people. And the corruption is blown. That's what's blown my mind, because I have my father, my biological father, my grandfather, my biological uncle. They were all law enforcement officers. I didn't grow up around that. I didn't know about that. To step into this now is like, what in God's name happened to the world? Okay. But it's been going on forever, and it's just getting worse and worse and worse. And nobody's saying a word, because there's fear, there's money, and there's fame from it. Okay. And that's all bullshit. People are losing their loved ones every day, every 40 seconds. And it's just being brushed under the rug. People are paying other people to shut their mouths. Another case. That's another case we're talking about. Another suicide in this town. Suicides or drug overdoses. Really? Those are the answers to everything. So I want somebody to explain to me real quick. I'm not going to go into the case, but how somebody that kills themselves, rolls themselves up in a rug, and shoots himself in the back of the head with a rifle.
Or how does a grown-ass woman hang herself from a shower curtain rod in a trailer?
She weighs 160 pounds, by the way, folks. Doesn't happen. Doesn't happen. How does somebody hang themselves in a tree next door to the sheriff's department? Come on. These things don't happen, but they're accepted because they're told to be accepted. This is what you do. You go that direction. Or, here, this is for you, and this is for you. It's enough already. It's enough.
How does a 6'4" man hang himself?
Thank you.
From a barn rafter, and the rope that he hung himself with was tied left-handed, but he's right-handed.
Thank you. How does a man with his hand in a cast, his dominant hand, shoot himself in the head with a gun on the other side of his head? Granted, folks, that one, there's slight possibilities, but still, not really at all. In the space, a 3x3 space, no, come on. All of these things are so ridiculous, and these people think, oh, they'll just let it be. Nobody's going to care. Nobody's going to. Well, see, this is where the problem lies now. Until kind of recently, none of us existed out here, okay? So all of these crimes that have happened because nobody seems to think anybody's going to care.
Yep.
Well, we do.
Look up my series on my channel. It's a playlist. It's called "What the Hell's Going On in Tennessee," and that was really my first conspiracy, corruption cases that I got into. I had a family member reach out to me, and this is how scared some of these family members are. Just to give you guys a little piece of information, she reached out to me on a fake Facebook account, messaged me for 2 weeks, lurked in my chats for 2 weeks, and then finally messaged me from her real Facebook and was like, "This is who I am. I'm sorry, but I have to be careful because of da 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 da." Like the murder billboard of Cookeville, Tennessee. I mean, if you guys look at anything I've done on those cases, look at the stories behind those cases. I have a family member that is still so scared for her life that I talk to her in private every day, but she will not come on my channel. I have full permission to release autopsy photos, reports, the whole 9 yards. But out of fear for her life, she will not come on my panel. Her father
Again,
is the very first case that the TBI handled. That's just to give you guys a piece of why I'm not up here going, hoorah, hoorah, TBI, because
I get it.
I spent a year working on these cases and talking to these families, and it will blow your mind. It will absolutely blow your mind what people go through. And all they want is justice. They want their loved one found.
Absolutely. I was introduced to the TBI for the first time with Summer Wells, and that's where my issue started from there. There's so many more, and I agree with you. I'm not going to talk horrible about them. I'm not super comfortable with them. I'll just put it that way.
No, I'm not bashing them like at all, but there are certain branches of the TBI that don't have a good record, especially when you get up in Eastern Tennessee.
Yes.
They don't have a good record at all. They really don't.
I think the TBI could take some serious lessons from the OSBI. The way they handled the case of the two missing moms, they were on top of that on the ball. I mean, they handled that lickety split. They did a real investigation there, and I think that the TBI needs to take some serious lessons from them.
I agree, and it was quick. Boom, boom, boom. End of story. We knew everything. How, and it was fast. That was the fastest I've ever seen a case wrap up in my life, and it was amazing. They did amazing work. They were on it from the get, and they did not stop till the very end. Great work. I agree with you, Arctic. That was amazing work. I was absolutely blown away by that, to be honest with you. And yes, Barbara, that's fact. And it's very scary. It's the same sheriff, same coroner, and the same highway patrol troop E that conveniently does not exist anymore. How about that? It's just so crazy. And this is what power and money does to people, folks. And it's sad. And it's scary because we look to these people to protect and serve. We reach for these people when we're scared for ourselves, our lives, our families. We can't even do that anymore. That's the sad part. The only person, very good. And I agree with that one, Molly. I think every city, every county, and every state needs a Grady Judd. I agree with that wholeheartedly. That man right there, I find no one better. That's my opinion. Not everybody has to agree, and I understand if you don't. Let's see here. So, yeah, I have a moving forward though. Like I said, guys, tonight's about whatever else. We put that out there about Caleb. I'm kind of excited, as I stated, about that one. I think that sounds to me like good news. I got my fingers crossed that it is, and that maybe there's going to be some closure on that quickly here, hopefully. And again, if not, guess what? I think we're all rocking and ready to go on that one for sure, folks. What was I was going to say something about something else too, and I just completely lost my train of thought. I hate when I do that. What was I going to say? Good Lord, I hate when I do that.
I don't know. I can barely handle what's in my mind, much less reading yours.
I know. I believe me, I know. Well,
Chad's talking about Grady Judd, so I'm going to give Grady a big shout out. So we had a missing case out of St. Pete, which is over there in his territory.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to give out a lot of details because she is an adult now and has been found. But he put fire under hind ends that needed to be put fire in a state that we're all very familiar with. And within a month, I'm literally unloading groceries and I get a phone call from her dad that she's been found.
That's amazing.
So Grady is phenomenal. He is absolutely phenomenal. I mean, the dad sat down in his office and talked to him face to face. The next thing we know, there are wheels moving and gears grinding.
He doesn't play. He doesn't play the games. He takes what he does seriously, and he does it right. And I support him in every aspect. That man should run for president, as far as I'm concerned.
I've told him that on Twitter, and he's told me that he would not run for president. And I was like, "Whoa, that's not fair."
If he did, I'd vote for him. I'll put it that way. Yeah,
So
he's
would
very
I.
good at what he does, and it's going to be a sad thing when he retires. I'll put it that way. I feel bad for that part of Florida because that man is the thing for real. Yeah, absolutely, Christine. I think we all are at this point. I did, Victoria. Thank you. And yes, Molly, that was a derp. I do that all the time. Sorry, my brain goes faster than my mouth, guys. That's ADHD for you. And sometimes I got to run a mile to catch up with it. Just saying. Just bear with me. We'll get there eventually. Absolutely. My sister made a sign, made me a sign. I have it in my yard. It has Justice for Timmy and some pictures on it. And I live on Highway 1. Good for you. Good for you. Absolutely. That's the best way to do it.
As I get older, Dago, I understand because my condition of CRS gets worse and worse every year that I get older. And you know what CRS stands for? Can't remember shit.
Yes, sir. I have that same disease. The older we get, and the more, well, see, here's the thing. We do this too, and our brains are overloaded day by day by day by day. I mean, we have cases upon cases upon cases, and we're trying to remember dates and names and ages as these cases progress and details. And then we move into new cases, and we have to overload that too. So yes, I think we get a little bit of a free pass on that one per se because of what we do. Other than that, there's no excuse. I'm just getting old and losing my mind. So yeah, I think we all have a little bit of it, Nicole. No worries. By the way, Mom, I got to tell you, I absolutely love that shirt.
This is, if you guys don't know, so on the weekends, if I don't do a decompression live, which I try to do those too, I go Goodwill hunting. And I got this at Goodwill for $1. My
Best
kid
place in
wants
the world.
it. Like, it's insane. And I don't know if you guys have seen me wear it or not. I wore it on a live one day when we were out and about. I think it was when we went to do Catherine's to rerun her route. But it says Friends on it. And it has like Freddy Krueger and Jason. And oh, it's like my new favorite shirt. I give $1 for it. And I never look at shirts. Like, I'm antiques. Like, if you look behind me, like, it's probably really blurry. But I've got antiques wrapped all the way around because my dad owns an antique store. And I have an eye for that kind of stuff. So I'm constantly going in there and like finding like antiques, like crazy antiques. Like, and I find the coolest shit. Like these are $180 headphones that I've never even used. And I give like $5 for them.
I found my wife and I and my son, we're yard sailors and garage sailors and like thrift sales. And we always, guys, you can find things. I found a brand new pair of the Beats by Dre earbuds. The plastic wasn't even taken off them. I paid $1.50 for them. I mean, you can find things, and we love that. We find antiques all the time. We picked up 3 Singer, they were all from the 1930s. The Singer sewing machines that they fold down into the boat. 3 of them for $20, and we sold the 3 of them off because we already had one. So you know what I mean?
It's crazy, and I know you're a toy guy, and if you guys can see behind me, like I've got so many good deals. Like this dude right here, like this is a vintage Mickey Mouse, and he's a piggy bank. Dude, he's still got his sticker on him. I give like $20 for him. He's worth $150. I have 2 cookie jars over there that are like, one of them's worth $450. The other one's worth $175. I give $20 for them. And then I find like stuff like this. I'm so proud of this, and throwback for those that remember her. But I found a Rainbow Bright, and I got so excited. I was like, oh, it's Rainbow Bright. I got her for like $2. Oh, I got a big gray hair in there.
I have been looking for one of those for my sister for years.
Dude, I give $2 for her. She's worth $150, and she's in perfect condition.
It's worth it. It is.
I love it.
Very, very worth it. I love it too. It's fun. It's relaxing. It's a good way to decompress. After doing this, you know, we go on the weekends because that's Friday, Saturday, Sundays usually when they do it. It's a nice way to decompress. It is, and you wouldn't believe the things you can find. Crazy things, guys. I mean, I'm a toy guy, like she said. I've walked into yard sales where people have bins of Star Wars action figures from the 70s and 80s. Take the whole bin, $50. What? Do you
see 'em?
know? Oh yeah, absolutely.
I give like
Absolutely.
$1 for him, and it's an old Hallmark piece.
That's it. That's it right there. It's worth it. It is definitely worth it. You never know what you're gonna fall into. Seriously.
And yeah, Rocky, I'm Mom. They call me Mom for short.
Mind of Monsters.
Mind
We put
of
the 3 letters together, so Mom. We just call her Mom. It's easier. Decompress by going somewhere. Yeah, and I do. By the way, the decompression shows, what she was talking about, is a big deal, guys. For those of you that have been here with me for a while, you know that every once a month, maybe twice a month, I'll either shut everything down from the true crime side of things, and I just start playing music one night. We'll sit here and play music, and my son jumps in and he'll sing and do this and do that. And I've had so many people thank me for that, because it takes them away from all of the drama, the pain, the sadness that we deal with every single day. Because this genre in this community alone is the hardest one, in my opinion, to deal with, because it's always bad news. It's always bad news in one way or form or shape or another. It's always bad news. Some of it has happy endings, yes, but to start with, it's always starting with bad news. And that's just, to deal with that 6-7 days a week is very hard. Okay. We're human beings. We have the minds that we have and the hearts and souls that we have. And to deal with that every single day, especially when we have our own children, our own families, I've lost sleep. I know I've lost sleep. I know that Arctic has lost sleep. I know that Mom has lost sleep. I know, and I don't even know them that well, just from the time that I've known them, but I know the people that they are. Okay. I know the type of people that they are. They're the same type of people that I am, or we wouldn't be sitting here doing this right now. We put our hearts into this. We put our souls into this. Our emotions are sitting right out in front of us. These things aren't easy. A lot of you guys that come in are like, I can't watch this. I can't deal with these cases. I can't, neither can we, but we do it because somebody's got to do it, for one. And two, it's just, you get a passion for stuff like this because you want to help. I'm a retired fireman, EMS worker. Okay. I did what I could do to help people that way. Then I got hurt, had to retire. Now I do this because I want to help people. This is the only thing I can do. This is how I do it. It's the best way I can do it. And I will continue to do it as long as I can. Just as much as these two will too. I know they will. I think, did she dropped? Yes, she did. Okay. And that's what I'm saying. There's so many people in this chat, like here, all of you guys are the same way, or you wouldn't be sitting here listening to us right now. And that says a lot. That gives me hope for society. The people that have been here with me a long time, Molly and Doodle and Brandy and all them, they know when I started this platform, it was not only to do what I do, but to promote positivity too, because there's so much negativity in society right now that I figured if I can come in here and push some form of positivity to one other person besides myself, that one other person is going to turn around and give it to 2 other people. And those 2 people can give it to 10 other people, and so on and so on and so on. And okay, because of the way our society is right now, there's enough negativity. Okay, let's change that. Let's make that something different, per se. Okay, and I know I'm not going to change the world. I'm not trying to. I'm just trying to be a positive force in what has become a very stale, dry, and sad society in this day and time. Okay, that's all. And if I can do something helpful by doing that, while I'm doing that, I should say, I'm sorry, I'm gonna damn well do it. So that is why these decompression things are so important, you know. And it's only for a couple hours every so often, but it's enough. It's enough to be able to say, let go of it for a minute. We don't stop thinking about this stuff, but you can let go of it for a little while. Okay. And breathe, because you got to breathe. Like I said, guys, if you don't, this stuff, I'm not kidding you, it'll eat you from the inside out alive. And I've almost quit a few times. I really almost have. There's cases that have had, how can I say, not so decent endings per se. Okay. The Deborah Collier case, I was very, very unhappy with the end to that one. The Kylie Rodney case, I'm still pissed off about that one. Summer Wells, I'm very disappointed in how that case has gone. The Gabby Petito case really, really, really bothered me in a bad way too. So you get personally attached to these things, and then the end result to them is very disheartening. And you got to stop and go, okay, don't take it personal. You did what you did, move on to the next one. And it sucks sometimes, but this is just what we have to do. So, and then we get people like Miss Barbara Hall, Miss Kimberly, that makes every bit of what we do worth it, in my opinion. It does. Because they're not getting the help they deserve. They're not getting the answers they deserve. So I'll be damned if I'm going to sit here knowing that I can do something to help get those answers possibly, or even just to make enough noise to irritate somebody that won't give those answers. You bet your ass I'm going to do it. That's a promise. So I'm very grateful to be able to do that. I'm very grateful and honored to be able to reach out to these people or have them reach out to me to do anything I can do for them, even if it's just to say their name or the victims' names. That's everything to me. So, and I appreciate every one of you guys supporting us as we do that too. By all means. I know Arctic does. I know that Mom does 100%. Duchess as well. Illuminati, Nonsense. All these other channels that support all of this, 100%. They do. They absolutely do. So, do you have anything new that you want to throw out there, Arctic or Mom, either one of you?
Not really anything
I
new
did
for me.
Yeah, I just wanted to say, Dago's right. Without you guys, we're just people talking in front of a computer screen. If you all didn't share this shit out everywhere, we wouldn't accomplish anything. But, half the battle is getting that kid's face and their name out there. And I'll tell you what, I've had a couple of runaways that saw their videos on the channel and came back home because they finally realized that, their parents cared enough that they were trying to get that information out. So you never know. It may just be the kid seeing the video that causes them to come home. It may not even take law enforcement finding them. So
Absolutely. Absolutely. And every bit of information, it takes one thing, one tiny little bit of information to be shared, and that could break a case wide open, guys. Believe it or not, I know it's said, and I know you've heard it, that social media is a waste, but it's not. It's not. You heard it tonight. You heard it tonight. They're willing to hand over information to social media to help them. It's happened. Social media, there have been armchair sleuths or whatever they want to call us that have helped crack cases before. It happens all the time, guys. Because if you do it the right way and you pass information along to law enforcement, people come in and say something. Then we turn around and we pass it on to law enforcement because that's what we're supposed to do. And it helps. It does. Okay. But that's one thing. Please remember, if you have the option to contact them, please always contact law enforcement on any case you have before you call one of us. Remember that.
I had a missing girl out of Minnesota and a comment on a video, and I live in Florida, just to give you guys an idea of the time difference. Like, I live in Florida and I'm literally awake at 4 o'clock in the morning on the phone with a detective. And this detective is like navigating his way, bless his heart, around YouTube to find my channel, to find this video. And I'm on the phone with him, like walking him through blindly on the phone how to get to a YouTube channel, and it ended up being nothing, but it could have been something. I had somebody come in and they were like, "Oh, I went to school. I go to school with her, da 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 da, this da 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 da," and nothing came of it. But she was still found. And just one thing I want to say is when we run these cases, and even as subs in the chat, especially a teenager's case, teenagers like getting attention, right? I mean, I have a teenager asleep upstairs right now. She
They do.
loves being the center of attention. So, say a runaway is found or a child that's been missing is found. I can count on one hand the kids that I've seen come back on YouTube and say thank you. One of which was trafficked, and she was found. And I had shorts and videos, and and she watched all those videos. She heard her name. She showed those videos to her friends. Look, I'm on YouTube. I got them put on YouTube. Which that story ended up being a happy ending. But on the other side of things is when one of these children are not found and brought home safe, you have parents that may go back and watch your videos because, a lot of us, even ourselves or our mods, put together these beautiful videos and pictures of their loved one.
Yes.
And YouTube is somewhere they can go and they can reminisce and they can see pictures of that person on YouTube in one place. And, if you put music to it and it's, that person's favorite song or a song that meant something to them or something like that, that's kind of a one-stop shop where they can go and they can see their loved one. They can hear that favorite song and, sounds, sight, and smell bring back more memories than anything. And these cases do get extremely heavy on your heart. I've taken 3-month breaks before. I've had people reaching out to me, and sleuths are good at what they do. I got phone calls. Are you okay? How did you get my phone number? How did you find me? What the hell? Are you okay? You haven't been on. We haven't seen you, So now I've learned when I take breaks, I either let people know in Discord, hey, I'm here. I reach out to my families. I'm like, I'm here if you need me. I'm taking a break because if I don't take a break, I'm going to end up in a bad place. And that's not helping anybody if I can't help myself. And if you guys ever pay attention to my logo is a Bigfoot with a Sasquatch in the middle of it.
Right.
So my title on my channel is Missing, Murdered, Unsolved, Unjust, Paranormal, just a plethora. And I call it Skittles because, like, if you watch my shorts, you might see a green screen of a missing flyer behind me and, me doing the 60 seconds that they give you to do a short of as much information as I can cram in that 60 seconds. And it may take me 20 times to get it to where it all sounds like I'm not, it's cohesive conversation. And then you might log on and see alligators, or like we went to Fort Christmas and like I had a chicken that was running around and I was like, oh, hey, a Christmas chicken, and it's one of the old man's favorite videos. And this chicken like runs past me and all of a sudden I turn around and this is in Fort Christmas, Florida, by the way. So he has gotten into the chicken house and is feeding all the little chickens. And it's like one of his favorite videos because I'm like, oh my God, you can't take him nowhere. Let's film this and get the hell out of here. But you have to have those fun moments because, when I log on to a YouTube channel, which I work so much and I try to do everything that I can, you don't want to just see all the dark and the despair and, all the sad things that we do here. Sometimes it's nice to be able to log on and watch somebody's shorts and it's, I don't know, people sliding on somebody my age in a plastic pool going down a snowbank. You know what I mean? It's just the craziest thing I can think of at the moment,
I'm very well known for throwing up cat videos because I'm a big cat lover and I love putting stuff like that up just because I think it's hilarious. I do it all the time. Well, I'll sit here sometimes I'll come in here and I don't want to talk about anything to do with this and I'll just throw up. I'm very retro based. Okay. And I'll throw up old cartoons or old TV commercials and say, remember this, remember that, just for the hell of it, just because. Let's get away from it for a minute. You got to do it, guys. You got to do it. So there's fun things too. There is.
One night we did Bagoogers all over the world. So we had Bigfoot and we had the Mothman. And then I had one of my mods that's from Australia and she's telling us all these crazy, what they call their bagoogers over there, you know, and I'm Googling, pulling up to pitch some pictures of the craziest things you ever seen, you know, but those, you know, and even you'll learn that when you come into a channel and you become a part of our family.
Yes.
That's what you are. Like, you're not just subs to me and to these guys that are up here on panel with me. I can tell you because they've become part of my family, and a lot of people in chat. And, you know, it's great to have that safe place that you can go to, and you can know that, you know, you're going to come in chat. And like, I used to call it mod hugs because I loved it when, you know, you would go in a chat and everybody's like, hey, how you doing? How's it going? You know, and we know little bits and pieces of each other's lives, you know. So a lot of times you might be new to a chat and you may see two people conversing in there and they're like, well, I hope you're doing better. Are you feeling better? Because there are those connections that are made, because a lot of us are all over the world.
That's fact. That's absolute fact. And you know what? You can ask anybody in here that's been in here longer, you know, than a month or so. Once I get to know you from this community, if I see you in here and then I don't see you in here, I'm going to come looking for you. You can ask any one of my mods or any one of my people. I will come looking for you. I've done it, I don't know how many times. If I have the ability to come looking for you, I'm going to find you because I just want to know you're okay. Where'd you go? What happened? Is everything okay? Is there something I can do? Do you need something? I do it all the time. And at the same time, the team that I have here does the same thing to me. Okay. And so do other people. The subs will do that too. As I say, the family, the same thing. I call it the community and our family. That's exactly what I call it because that's what it is. Okay. When I'm okay with introducing my child to people to where they know him by his first name, you got to understand it. That's how comfortable I've always been that way. And I've always been the same person in here that I am out here. I give you what you see is what you get. The only thing I do different, if I'm not in this channel and I go into another channel, sometimes I swear a little bit more because I don't swear in here. That's one thing I didn't do from a very early time when I first started this because of specific reasons. I will go to other channels and that's where I vent the swear words I have to, but I don't mind swearing. Okay. It's just something I chose to do a long time ago. And it is what it is. People actually kind of get off when I do swear. Sometimes they're like, hey, I love it when he does that because I'm getting all riled up then. You know what I mean? So either way, I'm the same person all the time. There's no reason to be fake.
People know when they come to my channel and I'm riled up, they better expect to hear some curse words flying out of my mouth. So
that's exactly it. Because it's real, folks. We get angry about this stuff. It's not a show. It's not a joke either. I get angry. I've seen Arctic get angry. Mom gets angry. She's maybe a little quieter than we are, but she still gets angry. Okay. You've all heard Clue get angry. Okay. We know how that goes. And quite a few other, even Duchess gets angry. Okay. As soft spoken and as quiet as she is, because it's real stuff, folks. It pisses us off. It shouldn't happen. And we're just like everybody else. And we react like everybody else. So.
And you guys see me over here and I'm very ladylike and I wait for my turn to speak. Now, I'm going to be honest, you liable to come over to my channel on a good night and I'm in a good rant. I'm done on my second level soapbox. You're probably going to hear a little bit of adult language. I do try to wrangle it back some, you know, for purposes of sensitive ears, but we're humans too. And we don't mean any disrespect when we get like that, because it's almost like I call it, this is the way I refer to it because I'm from Kentucky. So when we were kids, you would take a Mountain Dew bottle, you'd fill it full of gasoline, put the lid back on it, throw it in the bonfire. Guess what happens? The cap flies off of it after a period of time. So I'm like a Mountain Dew bottle thrown in the bonfire sometimes, and my cap's going to fly off. But I try to keep it like, I try to give people a warning. You know, I'll put it in my title. Like I did one a couple weeks ago that was pitchforks and flaming torches, I think is what I called it. And I had like a cartoon of like people with pitchforks and flaming torches. And you can almost guarantee that if I'm live on my channel and I'm sitting on the sun deck, it's going to be a good one.
Oh yeah,
because
I've caught a couple
this
of
is
those.
like my soft spot. This is my area. This is my world right here. With all my toys behind me and all my pretties behind me, and I'm usually pretty calm. And this is what we're going to talk about. This is, we're going to laugh. We'll bring people up on panel. Whatever the case may be. But if I'm sitting on that porch, oh, it's probably going to be a good show.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. People know if I come and do a video or a live while I'm sitting in the front seat of my car, that I'm pissed off about something and I'm going to be fired up. Usually it's to call some other piece of shit creator out, but.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir. Never for not a good reason, though. That's a fact. That's a fact. That's that. And well, for those of you that I see a lot of new faces in here. Some of you guys know us, some of you don't. That just helps you guys to understand us. See, that's another reason why sometimes I do. Tomboy's in here. She's been in here. Doodle and Molly, they know me pretty good. I like to get to know this community. Okay, that's another reason why I do the decompression streams. Because I think you guys come in here and you speak your mind, you show your emotions, you talk about your feelings, all of that stuff, you guys. Okay, well, what's fair is fair. I do the same thing because we're a family, in my opinion, and families know each other, so there's no point in not doing that. I've always been that way, and I always will be. So Helen I haven't seen Helen in a. You're right. It's been at least 3-4 days. I figured maybe she just was hanging in Clues and hadn't been over here, but I'm in Clues too, and I don't see her. So, has anybody seen Helen or heard from Helen anywhere? I hope she's okay. See, this is why I do that, Butterfly, because I get all weirded out when I start thinking about that. We have a lady that was in hospice that is in our Discord as well. And every now and again, she'll pop in here, and that's how we know she's okay. But we try to check on her as often as we can. It's disheartening because we've lost people, but it's you get attached to people. They're in your community. I've been doing this for going on 2 years now in this genre. So you get close to people. Before I did this, I was in the drama communities. That's how I first started. And the only person that's with me from that is Brandy. She's been with me for going on 3 years. And I started that to go in and stand up against bullies in the drama community, internet bullies, which is what it basically was. Hold on, guys. What in God's name? That is the cutest thing I think I've ever seen in my life. Hold on, folks. I'm sorry. What did I just do here? So that's how I got started. Standing up against internet bullies. They were nasty. And I mean nasty. So I would live doing that kind of stuff. And I just got to the point where I got burnt out on it. We did some good for it, but you can only do so much. And I said, I really don't like this, but I did it because I believe in it. And this is what I love. And Fridays, I do Paranormal Fridays most of the time. I love the paranormal stuff. I'm actually a paranormal investigator. I've done ghost hunting. My wife and I have a ghost hunting group. We don't do it that often anymore, but we did. And that's the other thing I like too, is the paranormal stuff. And we'll do that on Fridays again to take a break. So that's true. You have been here that long, Tomboy.
Me too.
So what's that?
I found you at Doug's.
Did you really?
Mm-hmm. Yep. I found you at Doug's, and then I shall not say her name, but I was live one night and had somebody come in, and she was like, I don't know if you know him or not, but Doggo's streaming your content. And I was like, I know exactly who Doggo is, and he has permission to stream my content. So thank you for coming in here and trying to stir up shit. Move along.
Does it start with an M?
Mm-mm.
I don't know. Whatever. Good
yeah,
Lord.
I was like, no, I love him. So what are you trying to do?
They're always trying to do that kind of stuff. It's crazy. Let me show you guys something real quick. one of our peeps in here is amazing, and she makes all sorts of crafts. She has made Clue and I all sorts of different things. And this is adorable. I don't even know how you could have done this, but it's a tiny little, looks like a mini tea.
That
She
is the
makes,
cutest thing I've seen all day.
it's
And thank you,
tomboy.
Nicole.
She makes these things all the time.
That's freaking adorable.
Yeah, she does these things. She made, where did it go? I love Scooby-Doo, as most of you guys know by now. She makes pens all the time too. She made me this.
Yeah, I love that.
She made Clue some stuff. She made me this thing, which I think is one of the coolest things I ever seen in my life.
Yeah, you showed that the other night. That's super cool.
With the mini donuts, and then she made Clue some mini donuts. Like my grandkids wanted to eat them. I said, "They're not real. Stop." Can't eat those. But anyway, she's always doing this. She sits in her crafting room when we're live, all of us, and sits and makes these things and watches, and then she sends them to everybody. So very cool as always, Tomboy. Keep it up. I still can't get over sometimes how you make some of these things. They're so realistic looking. Great job.
I make graphics. That's as crafty as I get.
I get it, and that's good. That's good stuff.
God bless Mind of Monsters and Duchess, because they do my posters and stuff like that for me, because I'm a tech freaking potato. I know how to record a poster and talk in front of it, and that's about the extent of what I know how to do.
But you do amazing. And love Duchess. Duchess is a rock star. She's an amazing human being. If you guys are not subbed up to Duchess, what are you doing with your life?
I don't even like to see that name.
Yeah, me neither.
Anyway, that's a dark, evil person. I'm telling you. So
I know. I know. We went round and round.
Dirty, dark. Telling you right now. I won't even say that.
I think she came in and thought she was fooling with a poodle and got a pit bull.
She tries that all the time. She's been trying that. Whatever. More power to you. Yeah. Good. I'm glad you bit back.
Oh yeah. I tore her a new one. She don't even come around no more.
Good. What are we talking about, Rocky? Oh, yeah. They're about done probably. Aces, I don't know if that's true. I have so much Scooby-Doo stuff. I could sit here all day long and show it to you. Okay. I have Scooby-Doo clothing. I own every video that has ever been made on DVD. I have toys. I have so much stuff between Scooby-Doo, Charlie Brown, and Snoopy. I love it. I even have the Mystery Machine with Fred, Velma, and all them too. Shaggy. Well, maybe. Well, you might have me beat at that point because I don't have them. Although if I could find some that were for me, that I probably would wear them. I'll be honest with you. I have
Amazon.
socks. I bet you they do have them at Amazon. You're right.
I collect Bigfoot. I mean, if you guys can see my Bigfoot, love Bigfoot. Like I have so much Bigfoot stuff. It's unreal.
I did, Aces. I did. I remember. Tomboy, can you send me a picture of the Sebastian pen that you made so I can show that real quick? Somebody's asking for it. What was that noise? Hold on a minute, guys.
It's my heathen.
Oh, she already probably sent it. Oh, wow. She did send it. Well, these are little things too. She makes Tomboy makes these keychains. Hold on. And I'll show you guys the pen here in a minute she made for Sebastian. Andy Rose. That's pretty cool. Really cool, actually. Those are neat. Yeah, she does a lot of the what do you call it? That stuff. Oh Jesus, I know what it is because I've done it. You mold it with silicone. I can't think of it to save my life right now, but she does that stuff. She makes keychains out of that. Very cool. And well, I don't even know what I'm doing right now. Hold on. There's another little one. Hold on. I want to show you this pen. You should have sent them all in one thing, Tomboy. Hold on a minute, guys. I got too many tabs up. Jeez. Hold on a minute. What did I do? No, we're not listening to you again. Stop it, Jen. Okay, now, I'm sorry, guys. I had way too many things pulled up at one time. Okay, here we go. I made my wife a pen like this too. It has her name on it. It's got his name down the side there, and then that one that says "Keep Hope." I think is that the other side of it, Tomboy, or is that just separate? Probably the other side. Oh shit. Okay. Oh, and then we got the sushi. That one cracks me up. Caden looked at that. Was like, that looks like, is that edible? I said, no, son, it's not real. There's the donuts that look real. Those were clues, I think, right? Little keychains. That's cute. She makes cups a lot, pens, the tumbler things. Very good. You're very talented, very talented, very talented. Very much appreciated. Yes, resin. It was resin. That's it. Thank you, Jenks. Captain Jenks. Yes. I've seen that before too. It's pretty neat. This stuff looks real too. Like the food stuff looks like you could eat it. It's crazy.
Yeah, I don't know anything about that kind of resin. I could smoking you all back.
There you go. Miss Andy. What the heck is this? Well, I'll be damned. She already found it for me. I do have Scooby-Doo socks. There they are.
When in doubt, Amazon it.
Everything. I swear to God, guys, if you could make something up that I've never heard of in my life, and I could probably type it into Amazon and it would be there. He does. Yes. Truth does have a new channel. Let me find the link.
Guys, I have to go to work in the morning, but thank you, Doggo, for having me up. I appreciate you.
Oh, absolutely. Thank you.
Appreciate you a ton.
I'll probably be shutting down here in a second anyway. We've been going about 3.5 hours. So I appreciate you guys jumping in, going over that video with me. Very much. Hold on a minute here. Like I said, to me, it's positive news. I feel like it's positive news. So I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful something's going to come out of it. I very much am. So thank you, Mom.
Absolutely. My pleasure. Love you, Arctic. Love you guys in chat. Remember, if you guys see something, say something. We never give up, and it takes a village to raise a child. Catch you guys on the flip side.
Have a great night, Mom. We'll see you soon. Yes. And Arctic, brother, I appreciate you more than you know. Everything you do, have done, and will do in the future. It's always an honor to have you up here with us. And I, sir, appreciate everything that you do. So thank you very much.
Oh, thanks for having me. You have a good night.
You too. I will talk to you soon, my friend. Crap. Do you have any plans of going through the TBI message to parents and grandparents? Explain that one, Rocky. Have a wonderful night, Miss Barbara. Thank you so much for joining us. What TBI message to parents and grandparents? Why don't I know about that? Of course. I don't know why. You didn't have to jump down. You could have stayed up here with us. There's the link. Come on up. You don't have to show your face again. I trust you. You showed me once. That's good enough.
Oh, my thing. I got it all messed up again. Can you hear me or no?
Yeah. You sound great.
Okay. What it was is it was about a week ago, and I'm surprised nobody's okay. Good, because I really don't like camming. I don't like camming. I don't.
You're fine.
Oh,
You're
let me check this. Let me just do this. Hang on.
Sure.
Okay. So what it was, and I'm surprised that nobody's done a video on it and broke it down, because I found it was so powerful. They got the TBI, the FBI, the different I don't know, every organization you can think of with to do with missing kids, like policing agencies.
Mm-hmm.
And it's when they talked about the luring of kids from 11 to 17, right? Well, they explained it. They went into detail about what parents and grandparents need to do to keep their kids safe.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, it's finally about time, because what happened is, at least I remember back when the internet first came out, and kids were all on the internet, and I remember a punishment was take their mouse or whatever, right? But oh my gosh, if you took their internet away from them, and you were the worst. You were just the worst, right? And it's kind of become, I don't know, a rite of passage. All these teenagers on their internets, and even in the schools, they've pushed, the computers and whatnot. But now, locally where I live, they've taken the internet out of the schools. There's no access to the internet for the kids at schools now, and they took computers and everything away from them. And because, the premiers were saying, well, you know what? They know too much about this stuff, but they don't know enough about other things. So, and anyways, the TBI talk. What they did was,
did you guys hear that?
Was that thunder?
Holy shit, that was loud and close again. Yes, it was.
Oh,
sorry.
no.
Scared the hell out of me.
Okay, I'll be quick. So it was basically a permission to parents to say, take the cell phones away, the smartphones, right?
Mm-hmm.
And no chatting. Get them all, and don't let them in their rooms with their phones or devices or this, that, and the other thing, because they are being lured. 11 to 17-year-old group is the biggest one. They're being lured away from their homes. They're being sextorted. And really, I think they're right. And I was surprised that the TBI came out and said this, but they had every major agency with them. So, anyways, I just thought maybe you'd think about playing that and going through it line for line.
I haven't seen it, but I will. I'll go find it, and yeah, we can absolutely do a show on that. That's
like line for line. There's so much important information they put out, and I thought, wow, this is the first time I've heard any policing agency this detailed and forceful about it. So.
No, absolutely, absolutely.
Okay.
Truth is live.
What's that?
Truth is live.
Yes, I've been told that by a couple people.
Well,
I'm sorry. I'm keeping you guys on.
No. You're fine. You're fine. Like I said, I was going to end it, but no, that's important. And I'm glad you told me that because I didn't know that. So I will go find that and we will do a show about that. Absolutely. 100%.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
Because
Very
as a
much.
grandparent, I was so relieved because I thought, why are they missing such, what are we going to do about this?
Take off my camera.
So.
Right. Absolutely. That's perfect. I love that. I will go find it and we will
and I will jump down.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Well, thank you very much for everything, Rocky. I appreciate you very much.
It's stuck.
Yeah, that look like it hurt a little bit. Thank you, Molly. I was just getting ready to check that.
When my grandkids come over here, they can play on their tablets, they can play games, but they can't be hooked up to the internet.
Right. Absolutely.
There's 3 of them, and there's no way that I can keep up with all of them. So that's kind of the rule.
100%.
You can come up here in this room, make whatever you want. Leave the tablet downstairs.
There you go. That's just the kids need to be doing more of that kind of stuff. I agree with you 100%. Absolutely. That's what we do with our grandkids. They both have tablets when they come over here. They don't. She gets maybe an hour a day on her tablet. We do crafts. We do outside when it's nice outside. We do other things. We don't do that stuff because there's no need for it.
As my youngest grandson says, we play lacrosse over. It's like lacrosse with the
little plastic ones. Yeah.
But he calls it lacrosse over, so we just go with it.
Yeah, we have that game here for them too. Thank you, Walt. Good to see you, buddy. I appreciate that. Holy shit.
Well, last week he tried to ride my bike.
How big is he?
Dude, it's a 20-speed mountain bike. Get off of it. You're like 2'4".
Yeah, that might hurt you a little bit. You don't want to do that one for sure. Well, folks, I think that is going to do it for tonight. I appreciate you guys very much.
Yeah, what is the Truth's channel? Do you have it either?
I do have it. I thought didn't I put it in the chat up here somewhere? Maybe. Here, hold on. Nope, that's not it. Wait a second. 1 second, guys. I'll get it. Okay, what'd you do? Diego, come on now. You should know how to do this stuff by now. Boom. Okay.
I shaved my head last night. I feel naked.
It looks the same.
No, there's no hair back there.
Oh, no, it doesn't. Okay. I just saw that. So looks good either way. So thank you.
It hurts my head.
Yeah. There's a link there, guys, in the chat. If you guys want to jump over there, please do. It's okay. It's okay, Dahlia. No worries. Like I said, I need to shut her down anyway. Check the weather, and maybe I'll go over there too if my house isn't flying by that time.
Yeah, I got hollering going on already over here.
That time again. Yes, good night.
10 o'clock. I'm like, what the hell?
It's 11:30 for me.
I've been in your damn car all day. Let me have peace.
Mm-hmm. It's your time. That's right. You get your time. That's fact. Thank you for joining us, Tomboy. You should have jumped up sooner.
I asked for the link twice, and I guess because I was in timeout in the corner because I wasn't dealing with humans.
I didn't see you. Sorry.
I did.
Yell next time in big bold letters, or have one of them yell at me, or DM, or hit me in. Well, then again, if I have it turned down, I'm not going to hear it. So.
Right.
Next time, just yell at me. We'll get you up here.
All right.
Tracy, will there be? I'm not sure. I think I have court tomorrow for. We'll see what happens with the Koberger hearing tomorrow. If I can show it or somehow cover it, I'll be doing that. If not, then yeah, most likely we'll have something new tomorrow. So we're building up to this weekend. Saturday is going to be a big deal. So make sure you tune in Saturday. And again, guys, thank you guys so much for joining us. Tomboy, again, thank you for jumping up here. I appreciate you and your talented stuff. I appreciate seeing that too. Guys, don't forget to love yourselves, to love each other. Don't change a thing about yourselves because you're the beautiful people. And I will see you guys very soon. Again, if you guys choose to, click that link, head on over there and check out Truth's channel. Show some support and some love and tell them Big Dumb Dago sent you if you can. I love you guys to death. Have a wonderful rest of your night, folks. I'll see you tomorrow. Good night and God bless. Bye-bye, folks.